This is what you're gonna have to do. Try to find ways to create and let him use his athleticism until he understands how to consistently run the route tree. Because these guys that play DB, they're really good. Very good.
Yo boys, is up. I am back in the game. We're back to the Trump news. Trump news, obviously. Look at articles and watch and see what's been going on today. Sorry I wasn't live earlier. I normally I go live on Twitch in the afternoons, but I kind of just wanted just to chill. I went and walked, I went and did some other things. I was just gaming, off stream. I kind of just wanted to relax earlier. So yeah, I'm on to them. I'm still gonna get on. Obviously, doing this. Obviously, this is what I enjoy more than doing gaming right now. So yeah, let's just get into what's been going on. Obviously, let's get into it. No fucking around. Let's just get into it. Just let me change my song real quick. I like this song. There we go.
If you look at the first series, the first couple of series, what they doing?
All right. So look here, just see what's the administration's just been posted.
You don't have a rapport with your quarterback.
Trying to think. I think Trump did like an interview, so I'm just trying to see. What's this shit? I don't know what this is. Something about mines. Okay, it's not really that important to really look at. To be honest with you, it's not really that important. Also, I may look an article like later, There'll probably be an article about. I'll just look at it. I thought Trump did an interview. There it is. I was just saying, what the fuck? So Trump did a interview. Whoever this person is, we'll go look. He's someone to Save America Act, or just see what he's saying.
He says he doesn't see a pathway to
I don't know this guy
50, 51, doesn't have 60. Democrats aren't voting for it. What's the disconnect between you and Thune?
Well, we have no disconnect. I think we have a good relationship, but I view that as a very important thing. It's voter ID. If you just even take the ballots out of it, the ballots are very important, but we do that another time. Voter ID, and it's proof of citizenship. And I figure you can't get any more basic than that. In other words, we want to see your citizenship. We want to make sure that you're a citizen to vote. We like photo ID just to make sure, because the elections are rigged in this country. The elections are a mess in this country. And that was proven in 2020, and it's been proven elsewhere. Look at the recent election that took place with the Spencer Pratt in Los Angeles. All of a sudden, they came from nowhere. It looked like he was in the runoff, or easily in the runoff. The other one was, the third place was a woman nobody ever heard of. She's crying. Oh, I didn't make it. She didn't make it by a lot. All of a sudden, she surged. Unknown people don't surge. And she surged after the election was over. And she ended up getting in the runoff. He didn't. Look, we're like a third world country in many cases, in many states. Third world country. So I think it's very important. Save America Act is a very important thing. John's trying. He's trying hard. I really believe that. But if he doesn't get there, it would be unfortunate.
He says, why don't you get the votes for it?
Well, I can probably do that, but I have a couple of people that I won't do so well with. You understand why, right? They're no longer in power. Well, as soon as they leave on January 20th.
Should he put it up for a vote either way?
Yeah, I would, because I'd like to see the people that want to vote against it. I want to see the people, both Republican and Democrat, who vote against, because mostly it's Democrats. We have most Republicans, in all fairness. We'll have a few. We'll be, like a couple short, or maybe one short. which we shouldn't be any. What Republican is going to vote against it?
I could tell you there's a couple.
I know the ones. You don't have to tell me. I know the ones, and I find it hard to believe. But you have all the Democrats are going to vote against it. Every Democrat is going to vote against it.
They have 5 times, to be clear.
Well, they do it over and over, and I think it should. I think it should pay a price during the election for the election. Every single Democrat is opposed, but not only that, they're opposed to even the great big beautiful bill. I like the term better than the one. I like the great better than the one. But the great big beautiful bill is something that they all voted against, every single one of them. So they voted against, no tax on tips, and they voted against Social Security, no tax on Social Security, no tax on overtime, car loan deductions, all these things, these incredible things. They voted against everything. They vote against transgender all the time, the mutilization of your children. They vote against open borders. They vote in favor of open borders. They vote totally in favor of open borders. These people, it's the craziest thing. So I like having their hands go up voting against all of these things. But when you vote against, as an example, when you vote against the Save America Act, you're voting against fair voting. And when you think that they're voting against citizenship, I want to see a citizenship. These are things that nobody can understand when they're voting against photo ID. And, it was very interesting because in New York the other day, they were talking about the food store. And you see, they want to be licensed. They want you to be licensed in order to buy a loaf of bread. Maybe the same things also in New York. And these are people absolutely don't want anything having to do with elections. In other words, you can just walk in no matter who you are. But when it came to shoveling snow, did you see that? You had to get 2 forms of identification to get licensed to shovel snow. But to go in and vote, you don't need anything. No, it's no good.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. The state Vegas hasn't been passed yet. Obviously, with like certain bills, you need like 60 votes, and there's like certain usually needs like slightly above 50, like Spanish bills like slightly above 50, and the other bills, a whole bunch of bills are like 60. So that's real quick. Excuse me. I think eventually a vote will get passed. It'll be like in the last minute, like a lot of things. The problem is, they get like 7 Democrats to get above the 60, and also that's never gonna happen. Like I've said, many times, Democrats, do well with benefit from mail-in ballots. It's how they do really well in the polls. Like election with mail-in ballot, people get dip here wrong. And the reason why she went past Spencer Pratt in the runoff because for some reason they wait till that's like the last thing they count. It's like mail-in voting. So, to be honest with you, I think they should just count the mail-in voting first. Do mail-in voting first, count that first, and you count the normal ballots. I think that's how they should do it. But Democrats never going to vote the safe act because it puts like a lot of restrictions, vote in, the ID stuff. They're not going to be in favor of that because they well in states that require no ID. Like if you look at like all the states that commonly won during the elections, the states had no voter ID. But who knows if every state had voter ID, Trump might have won maybe a couple of weeks. Who knows? So yeah. Hopefully get past one day, right? That makes it like minor tweaks in there, like like they did with that bill. They have to wait and see. Eventually, it'll probably get passed. It'll just be like in the last. It'll just be like in the last minute, I think. Who knows? It might never get passed. I think Trump will try basically black people vote for a safe act. You kind of think that with big people, really kind of basically blackmail a couple people to vote for his bill. So we'll have to wait and see. So We had to wait and see on safe action. So what's this one? So Todd Blanche.
He's been pretty pointed on this thing. He's
Shit.
Bill Cassidy, Lisa Murkowski are on the fence. You think he's going to be confirmed?
All I can say is that he's a great gentleman. He's a great person. He's great at what he does. Everybody agrees with that. People think he's incredible. If they don't agree to do what they should do, it'd be very sad. And we'll all survive. Todd will survive.
You'll keep him in his acting.
Yeah, sure, he'll be acting.
Yeah.
But why should he be acting when? And if he was a marginal, everybody agrees he's fantastic. He's great. He's fair. He's a fair guy, not a radical flamethrower. Yeah, he's going to be acting, and we'll try it again.
I wonder if you feel any, because a lot of these people who are against him, who have given you trouble on him, are people you endorsed against, right? I mean, you have Horn and Cassidy, Murkowski, you kind of
essentially flag.
Yes. Right, so
Murkowski I was against.
Yeah.
I'm against Murkowski. I think I do more for Alaska than any president in history. No president's done for Alaska what I've done. She's not good.
Do you regret any going against these people? It makes your agenda harder to get through.
No, look, I don't regret it. You do what you have to do.
Yeah. Do you want Thune to serve another term as leader?
Just so you understand, they voted to impeach me.
No, I was there. Yeah.
In all fairness, you think that I'm going to support somebody who voted to impeach me?
Yeah, no, I hear.
You know what, MAGA, my beautiful MAGA base, the greatest people on earth. You know what they'd do if I voted in favor of somebody that voted to impeach the person that they love and I love them? They would not be happy.
I can't. To be honest with you, I don't really know a lot about Todd Blanche. He's only been in my game for a couple of months. I can't really give much of a full opinion on this guy. He's done some good things. He's done some things where I kind of question. The SPLC stuff is pretty good. They've cracked down on some of the people with fraud and stuff like that. I just wish he released all the Epstein files, went for the Epstein clients, but hopefully maybe one day he'll do that. Hopefully he looks at the Fauci subpoena that Rand Paul did. Hopefully he does that. Things I didn't fully agree with where Trump's gonna get immunity from taxes. I didn't particularly agree with that. I guess he's changed his tune on that. We have to wait and see. We're not saying much, but he seems like he's better than Pam Bondi, but it could get any worse. Pam Bondi was arguably the worst attorney general we ever had. I know a lot of people say Merrick Garland was really bad. I wasn't paying attention to politics when Merrick Garland was the attorney general. I know the leftists don't like Merrick Garland because he didn't fully go after Trump. He didn't put Trump in jail. But Pam Bondi was so awful. She was just sat on her ass and did nothing, and just appear on Fox News and run her fucking mouth. How she just fucked up the Epstein files. She said they were on my desk, and I'm great with them. And they said there was never a client list, even though she said they were on my desk. She got super defensive at that hearing she did at the end of her career. She didn't know how to redact. She didn't know how to redact a file. She deleted a bunch of files. She had gone after the people that were destroying Elon's Teslas last year. She was hiring people in the DOJ that were, beat the shit out of cops on 26. She was just a shitty attorney general. So hopefully Todd Blanche should be a lot better than her. And like I said, so far looks like he's better than her, but that's not saying much. To be honest with you, I wouldn't he's only been for a couple of months. I can't really formally give an opinion on this guy. I don't really hear a lot about him. So I guess it's a good thing we don't hear a lot about this guy. We constantly heard from Pam Bondi all the time. So, I wouldn't I'll give him till the end of the year till I really form my opinion on him. So, he's still, if he gets, hopefully, how he will make me fully trust him if he release more of the Epstein list and went after the Epstein people, to put Fauci in jail, went after the fraud going on across the country, and look into, some of the stuff that Hassan was doing. If he did all that shit, he would have like full fucking respect. So we have to see what this guy does, for 4 years as Attorney General. So far he's been okay. So like the only thing I disagreed with him on is that immunity thing. I guess that's not gonna happen. But I didn't really agree with that. I was like, no, I don't fully agree with that. So, well, I don't really know a lot about it, to be honest with you. So, but it seems like it's better than Pam Bonnie. Like I said before, it can't get much worse. It could get much worse. She was awful. What's this about outside?
Because you have people.
Sorry. I'm sorry. Oh, shit. I hate when it does that.
Because you have people.
Sorry.
It's very important for the country that we win. Because you have people getting in office right now who will destroy this country. You have a person in Michigan that won the other night.
Abdullah Sayed.
He is a disaster for the country. Got a good line of stuff. I watched him. He speaks well.
Yeah.
Speaks okay. Seen better. But I'll tell you what, guys like that get in, they'll destroy this country.
True. Like I said before, I just wish that Trump kept his campaign promises and do what he said he was going to do. If he just, like I said before, if he just did what he said he was going to do, like before he got into office, we wouldn't be hearing about Abdul Sayed. We wouldn't be hearing about these DSA people. They would be losing their primaries. Trump's approval rates would be high. Republicans' approval rates would be high. They'd be cruising for the midterms to win the House and the Senate. But they've done absolutely nothing for the last year and a half. We just need to endorse Mike Rogers, and Mike Rogers needs to get on the campaign trail and talk about how he's gonna vote on bills to fix the economy. How's he gonna vote to end the Iran war? How he's gonna do about immigration? Can he create amendments to fix our healthcare, fix our infrastructure? How he's gonna lower cost of living. Basically, just talk about all the stuff that Al-Sayed has been doing. Just saying, he could just say that, he's not a real doctor. He never completed his residency. He doesn't have a medical license. And say how Abdul Sayed is a hypocrite, saying he wants to tax the 1%, even though he has a revenue of $2.1 million, and he could say he's a hypocrite about how he's against private property. He's got free properties in the Middle East, and say he's had donations from terrorist organizations. His father-in-law, got money from terrorist sites like Hamas. Now he's never really condemned 9/11 or October 7th, and he said how he's kind of said Jewish people are not our friends. How his wife, runs a psychiatrist, and she doesn't accept health insurance. He can say so many things. How he's campaigned with Hassan, where Hassan, all the stuff Hassan's been saying over the years. Mike Rogers needs to do that. He can't just sit on his ass and do nothing. If he sits on his ass and do nothing, he's going to lose to Abdul Sayed. So, I hope he does that. So, I want Republicans to actually talk with their policies, not just run their mouths and do nothing. Do your fucking campaign promises. That's how you beat these fucking idiots. Not by just talking. Some of Sean Finn.
Do you want Thune to serve another term as leader? Would you support him?
Well, I don't want to get into that necessarily, but
why?
I'll tell
a lot of people are thinking about it. This is a big issue.
I get along with him. It's unfortunate that he doesn't have the vote.
But do you actually get along with him?
I do
but you clearly disagree. I mean, you have big disagreements.
I do have disagreements. I believe strongly in terminating the filibuster. And by the way, getting Save America Act approved immediately, and about 400 other things in every hour of every day. Boom, boom, boom. You get whatever you want. You get.
Democrats would do it too, though, right? They'd get.
Well, they're going to do that. They're going to do that. If they get in, they're going to do it very quickly. I mean, you're wrong on that one.
We'll see.
They're going to do that so fast. And I say, as long as we all know that they're going to do it, I'm so shocked to hear you. But as long as I know that they're going to do that, you do it. I would do it whether they did it or not. We would get in the next 2.5 years, we would get things that nobody ever dreamt of. We would be in office for the next 100 years. And I'll tell you what, if they get in, I may be the last Republican president.
Well, yeah, because the reason why you might be the last Republican president for say for like 10 years, because you guys have done nothing. You guys have been in power for 18 months. You haven't done anything. Like, you guys control the House and the Senate. You guys have barely passed any fucking legislation. The only legislation you guys have passed was Trump's bill last year, and that hasn't helped us. It's actually made things worse, increased spending. They haven't fixed the economy. They haven't gone us out of the wars. They started the war to run. Republicans keep blocking, like amendments to get us out of the fucking war to run. They've done nothing about health care. They've done nothing about our infrastructure, fixing the roads, fixing our hospitals or schools. Done nothing about immigration. They haven't done that really much about, for like crime or anything. They haven't done like a crime bill. None of that shit. They haven't done anything. John Green's been terrible. He doesn't do anything. Same with Mike Johnson. Mike Johnson doesn't do anything. He sits on his ass and does nothing, man. He's terrible. It's like, I give the Democrats one credit. Like, when they're in power, they at least pass stuff. Like, I don't like Chuck Schumer. I didn't like Nancy Pelosi. I think they're evil people, right? And they're, corrupt. But at least they were passing shit. Obviously, like, a lot of things that they pass, fucked up the country. But at least they were actually passing their stuff. The Republicans stumble do all these things. They don't do anything. They just sit on their ass and do fucking nothing. The only thing they have passed is giving more money to, like, Ukraine and giving more money to Israel. That's the only thing they have fucking done. And also Trump's bill. That's the only three things they've done since he's been back in office. At least with Biden, like, they were actually passing his agenda. Also, his agenda didn't help the country, but at least they actually passed shit when they're in office. A lot of stuff didn't help, but at least they actually don't sit around and do nothing, at least. The Republicans just sit around and do nothing, man. They just, the Republicans were like that when during Trump's first term. They were barely passing anything during Trump's first term. They didn't do anything about fixing the healthcare. We didn't get that infrastructure bill in his first term like Trump promised. He didn't do any amendments about the term limits like he promised. Trying to think what else. The only thing they really did in his first term was his tax cuts. And they passed like legislation during COVID. Besides that, they didn't do that much when the Republicans were in office during Trump's first term. They probably didn't do that much when Bush was in office. So I just get annoyed that with people in the government, their job is to actually create legislation, pass bills to make their lives better. They sit around and do nothing. They're too busy to do insider stock trading. That's the only thing they can't give a shit about. They're just giving money to foreign countries. That's the only thing they give a fuck about. So, I get super frustrated, with like that. I really do, so.
It's 101.
So.
You can't do that at this level.
Oh shit. I've been so fucking distracted. I didn't mean to do that. Just give me a minute. Sorry. Read back. No, fuck it. We're just getting into this. It gives me a chance to do what I want to do.
So you have a government funding fight coming up September 30th, which is just 5-6 weeks away, whatever it is.
The government will be shut
If it doesn't
down
get done now, do you want
month.
to push for it in a
Look, I'm going to say whatever happens. It was set up so that it would be before the election, and you could very well have a closed country because the Democrats are going to vote entirely against it. They're going to vote against.
Well, they're for. It seems like they're for. Yeah,
they're in favor of closing down the country. They're in favor of. Look, I'll go a step further. I'd like to see a termination of the filibuster.
Well, you don't have the votes for that. Right?
Oh, that's one I really can't put.
Well, why? I mean,
that's even a step.
You say Democrats would do it.
Because
They tried.
you don't have Democrat votes right now. But if they get in office, 100% they'll terminate the filibuster. You know that.
Well, they tried. They weren't able to last.
Well, but those two people are now out of service.
That's true.
They're doing other things. They're no longer politicians, and they wouldn't have been able to get elected they couldn't have gotten the nomination. But and look. It's incredible. Termination of the filibuster. So good. And you have most Republicans in favor. And then you have some old line people that they actually believe, some of the Republicans actually believe the Democrats won't do it. And
I'm one. I actually don't think that. I think there are a lot more people who are against it than it seems public.
I think the Democrats will do it in the first hour, day, and if they're really slow, week. It'll be done. And then you know what happens? You have two more states, so to speak, right? You have D.C. and you have Puerto Rico. You have 4 more senators. You have 8 more congressmen. You have 23 because the real number they want is 23 Supreme Court justices. That's their real number.
Yeah. Look, Lindsay, I think if this is what I think will happen. I think the Democrats sadly are going to win the midterms. But it's not the norm. That would have been fine if it was just the established modern Democrats. I would have been fine with the established Democrats getting in office. So, I'm not talking about this. Not obviously, definitely not the fucking tankies. God no. I wouldn't mind if the Democratic Party during the Obama years. Obviously, I didn't agree with their policies, obviously, but they were more normal back then. I know, sadly, a lot of these DSA people are winter primaries. The Democrat players can take over by the fucking tankies. Well, the first things they'll do when they do get power, they'll start the impeachments on Trump again. They'll start investigating investigations, his administration. They'll, you won't like it. They'll block the law, his agenda. And if I think a Democrats win the next election, sadly, hopefully it's not AOC or whoever it's going to be. They're going to try make try to make DC a state, even though it's just a city. That's kind of blows my mind. And they'll try to make Puerto Rico a state, and they'll try to act the courts. Then they'll try some stupid try to abolish the Senate. Then they'll get rid of ICE. They'll try to get rid of the Department of War. They'll get, then they'll open the border again. They'll do massive tax increases and all that shit. It just makes things a lot more worse. So, because Trump and the Republicans sat around and did nothing for the last 18 months, that's the reason why. It's his fault. If he just stuck with his fucking campaign promises, none of these people, you would not be hearing these DSA people at all getting elected in their primaries. They would get destroyed. But he sat around his ass last season, was doing nothing, focused into their drawing board, reaching himself in the office. The recklessness with the tariffs and the mishandling of the Epstein files and just all the stuff he's done. It's just pissing people off. And that's the reason why people get desperate, that's what there's, look at these fucking tankies, man. It's just annoying. Alright, that's all the clips of, I don't know if there's going to be more clips of the interview. It's tomorrow, or I'm not going to be live tomorrow, but maybe Monday, just want to go look at it. So We go look at articles now since we look at those clips. Down stuff they feel is really that important to look at. There'll probably be articles about. I'll probably go look at. But we'll go. Go look. At just what's been going on. That's if you don't know that stuff. So let me fix my ass.
But if you're a Giant fan, you look at Jackson, man.
I'll go look at this. Sorry about this. We go look at this. Why not? I don't really care about it, but we go look at it. President Trump, Janine Pirro, to take a second look at the recently dropped charges over vandalism at the Lincoln Memorial Reflecting Pool. Not now that people are able to see up close. They reported pure vandalism at the Reflecting Pool. Trump wrote to social, sharing the photos of a freelance photographer that allegedly showed vandalism. The president claimed that the people were on their knees with their hands in the water at the exact locations of the slashes. Additionally, there were witnesses to the vandalism and the flexible areas of material where the cut with a knife. U.S. Attorney Janine Pirro should revisit. I'm sorry, I need to change my song again. Sorry about that. Sorry. Alright, there we go. Sorry about that. Should revisit her actually made the decision, especially since it turned out to the gentleman involved in it. It is a big player in Act Blue, a disgraceful fundraising scam, and it's represented by Trump deranged sleazebag, political hack lawyer Norm Easton, I don't know who the fuck that is, and a group that uses charity for political purposes, which is, to best of my knowledge, illegal. Trump has been highly critical of Pirro's decision to drop the felony vandalism case against former Olympian David Aaron last Friday. Earlier this week, Trump claimed Pirro choked under pressure from a judge. Regarding the case and folded like an umbrella. A day after the case was dropped, Trump wrote on True Social, "I disagree with Janine Pirro, the U.S. Attorney for the District of Columbia, on the Reflecting Pool. I don't know what she was thinking." Pirro was indicted on July 2nd on one count of felony destruction of property U.S. Park. Police allege Hearn grabbed and tugged at a loose section of the pool coating on June 19th, continuing after the National Park Service employee told him to stop. Officials initially claimed he caused more than $1,000 in damage. However, Pirro's office said the Department of the Interior initially provided prosecutors with bare bones reports and failed to disclose records documenting extensive problems with the cone's installation. Had the DUI had been forthcoming with the information early in his possession, the government would have not sought a grand jury, document prosecutors wrote. It was not until after the return of the diamond that the DOI provided additional documents to the USAO/DC indicting that damage to the Lincoln Memorial Reflecting Pool in June 2026 was the result of flawed installation by the contractor Atlantic Industrial Coating in the rush to complete the project prior to the events associated with the America's 250th celebration in the weeks surrounding Independence Day. This is what it looks like. The DOJ said the new evidence made it difficult to find beyond a reasonable doubt that the hearing caused the damage. Prosecutors asked the court to dismiss the indictment without prejudice, which would leave open the possibility of bringing the charge again. The Trump administration case against Davey Aaron should never have been brought. Aaron's attorney, Norm Ellison, Mary Darrow Man, and Steve Levin in a statement last Friday, according to the New York Post, it's the missiles today does not erase the abuse of the government power in arresting and charging a patriotic American who did nothing wrong. The government approaches rate for the administration knows Mr. Hurd an apology. Give me a second. Try to burp.
This game wasn't, I mean,
very interesting. Like, if there's more evidence that he did commit vandalism on the reflectable, then yeah, he should go. Then he should go to jail. But if there isn't like a lot of evidence, then there's no point looking at it. I don't know. To be honest, I don't really care about the reflective. To say I don't care. Like, I honestly do not give a shit. To be honest with you, I don't know why people get so fixed after it. I don't care. There's too many issues going on in the world, in the country, in the world, than some fucking reflection pool, man. I honestly do not care. I'm sorry. Don't care. I don't care. Honestly, if he, committed vandalism, he should go to jail. But no, I'm not gonna make a big fit over it. I honestly do not give a shit, to be honest with you. Just like my opinion on that. So, see, I don't care about the fucking ball, or do not care about that. Some of these ones are kind of retarded. Pentagon plots a new nuclear option for Trump's biggest answer is rate state reports. If I look at that one, maybe we see other articles. Jesus, that's all the articles?
It's hard to pick right up where you live. Ocho?
Some of these articles, they really suck. I'm sorry, Chad. Some of these articles are terrible, man. What the fuck?
Yeah, you did that last year. You think these teams don't roll the first time you won the Super Bowl? You're their Super Bowl this year. Yeah. The team that didn't win the Super Bowl, guess what? When they see your ass on
Oh my god.
that gives us confidence.
You're talking about his son. Jesus Christ. I guess we're gonna look at this. Oh my god. They're talking about his son again, dude. Like, it's just, I don't know. It's just so funny how they talk about. There he is. Oh, good. Controversial Twitch streamer Hassan Piker is calling on Democrats to ensure that those who do not support Michigan Democratic Senate nominee Abdul Syed face consequences for not holding the party line. Their haters in our ranks knows how whenever someone comes out and says, yeah, that's actually a bad association, immediately is weaponized by the Republicans, he said. First of all, records include the Fox News Bill Hemmer interviewing former Republican National Committee Chair Ronna McDaniel. You can't be out there saying, like, oh, I'm a centrist Democrat, and I think Abdul's a bridge too far, they must be punished. Piker, a socialist, went on to argue that the Democrats should use Marxist-Leninist punishment against those who do not follow the party line. He acknowledged that it was appropriate for the Democrats to debate among themselves until a winner is declared. The controversial Twitch streamer statement came just 2 days after El Sayed secured the Democratic nomination, nearly defeating Representative Haley Stevenson in the primary. Piker appeared on the campaign trail with El Sayed, who is set to face off against Republican nominee Mike Rogers in November. Piker calls for Republican sparks backlash among some Democrats, including Center for American Progress President C.L. Nara Tenden, who served under former President Joe Biden. She warned that Piker's rhetoric to aligns voters. It's hard to imagine a bigger turnoff to swing voters than this guy. True. Stop giving mayor time, man. My free advice to the AES campaigns to get him to shut up about your race hating, bro. And I agree. Let's see what she said. All right, never mind. I'm not gonna worry about that. In response to the stream clip, Project Liberal co-founder Joshua Elke, where the fuck you say his last name, noted that Piker refused to endorse former Vice President Kamala Harris during the 2024 presidential election. True, he did not vote for Kamala Harris at all. He was shitting on Kamala Harris. So he called Kamala Harris Bomba Harris or Holocaust Harris. So Ilke slammed Piker for claiming that the Twitch streamer was using authoritarian language. He is using flipping. He is a fucking communist, we expect. It was seeking to make the Democratic Party no different from the MAGA cult under Trump. Longtime Democratic strategist James Garfield, a critic of Piker, told Fox News this week that the party will decide in the 2020 primary which direction it's going. Piker hit back at Apple, saying that Cooch, payroll liberal mad, I think that DC establishment Democrats that work with MAGA are irredeemable and must be exited from the party ranks. Wonder why. This is not our first time. Piker criticized Elside's opponent urged Democrats to get behind the Senate candidate after the Michigan Democrats' victory. Piker said those who suggest Elside had a fuck ton of work to do. Men in bridges were unbelievably Islamophobic pieces of shit. Your religion called me a fucking terrorist for months on end. And called him a sexist, misogynistic, terrorist backing a fake doctor. He's a fake doctor, fuck face. Fuck, stupid fucking cunt. Fuck you, faggot. When he was he has 2 fucking degrees, and now you're going to say sit there and be like, well, you really got to come to me. What are you talking about? Piper said, "What a loser." I don't know why that Fox News keeps talking about Hassan. You're legit giving Hassan free fucking ammo. Hassan wants to be a constant you talk about. Hassan with you for years, wanting to be the center of attention, and then you give him what he wants. You just give Hassan more fucking ammo to talk about, so you can talk about it. Talk about on his stream. The Democrats should be telling him to fucking Hassan. Like, if I was Abdul Syed, I would not fucking hang around Hassan anymore. He's gonna make you look bad in the fucking generals, dude, because the Republicans and the South Democrats and especially Fox News are going to play the old clips of all the crazy fucking retarded shit that Hassan has said over the years. So they'll be like, they'll be the same way. Like, it'll never happen, obviously, because he has no interest. But it'll be the same as like a MAGA. Like a MAGA person decided that, wanted, camping with Asmongold. Nothing against Asmongold. I love Asmongold still. But, the far left media and fucking the Sun can, say some of the clips. And then have a guy like Asmongold banned. So, it's just. I wouldn't be hanging around with him. That's all I'm saying. Hang out with Assad. He's a cancer. He wants to destroy the Democratic Party. He wants to destroy the country. And he legit supports fucking Mao. He supports Cuba. Supports China. He says he has no patriotism in his heart. He doesn't support America. He legit said that. He's legit fucking said that many times. I'm not making this shit up. You can go look on TikTok to see what he said. All these famous clips are on there. So, yeah. All right, this is something more about the midterms. It's more about the Democratic Party, but it's still talking about the midterms basically. It's David Hogg. So David Hogg, if you don't know who David Hogg is, it wasn't that long. For a short time, he was the vice president of the DNC. He's a very young guy. He's close to my age actually. I think he's like a couple of years older than I am. I think he's like 4 years older than me. We're close around the same age group, right? Both are. He was actually one of the victims of the Parkland shooting back in 2018. If you guys remember that mass shooting happened in Parkland back in 2018. He was like one of the victims. He's like a moderate, liberal. He's like a moderate, like liberal basically. He was for a short time last year. He was the vice president of the DNC. Then they fucking ousted him because he didn't support any of the far left tanky shit. So this is what he's just talking about the Democratic Party, the future, and all that stuff. That's what he said. Former Democratic National Committee Vice Chair David Hogg told moderate Democrats they don't have the right values. That is true. I absolutely agree with him. Thursday, during an appearance on The Source, arguing the party establishment is really losing because its priorities are out of step with Americans as progressive candidates score primary victories ahead of the 2026 midterms. Hogg made this sharp criticism after host Caitlin Collins asked what he would tell moderates concerned that progressive nominees could struggle against Republicans in the general elections. The reason why the established of our parties being defeated over and over again is because they don't have the right values that are aligned with not the Democratic base but the American people. Hogg said he's absolutely correct. I agree with him. Where people are sick and tired of just listening to Democrats telling all the reasons why they can't solve their problem. True. I told moderates that they need to change their approach rather than ask successful progressive candidates to move towards the center. I would say to the moderates in our party, you need to figure out how to actually offer something new to voters that is in the same message that we gave them in 2024. It's like Stephen Bonnell, obviously, the liberal consumer, also, Destiny, pushed back on Hogg's assessment in a statement to Fox News, saying he doesn't believe the former DNC official represents rank high final Democrats. Why? I was surprised Destiny would disagree with that. So I'm actually kind of surprised Destiny would agree. Because Destiny is like a moderate Democrat, so I'm kind of surprised. I would say this is the outside of the Democratic Party mainstream views. Destiny said polls seem to evidence this with the majority or the majority in some cases of the Democratic voters feel as they know that the party has moved too far to the left. Destiny has repeatedly criticized the party's far socialist wing. He says Hogg's comments were a example of dynamic that allows the progressives to attack moderates without facing similar scrutiny from within the party. People in the Democratic Party extreme fringe have created a ratchet effect where you cannot criticize anyone to the left of a moderate viewpoint. Destiny said those same people can definitely attack the moderate wing. The moderate wing lean outside voters, and even people from the within to the few of the Democratic Party as far more extreme than it actually is. He warned that a Democratic Party that decides its moderates do not share its values could face consequences of the ballot box. I think he would mean the Democratic Party would probably have a hugely difficult time to see in the upcoming general in 2020 and possibly even stumble in 2026. Destiny said, which is especially ridiculous given how low Trump's popularity is at the moment. Federal Democrats' strategy in Carville has taken the opposite of the party ideological balance on Fox News. Thursday, the Democratic primary voters would ultimately reject the socialist wing. I think it's more likely that not that the Democrats embrace Sandy Carville said a takeover by the socialist wing could ultimately fracture the party, reiterating comments he has made for all the influential speakers, including self-described socialist Usulan Piker. That probably would result in some kind of schism in the party. Carville said, "I'm going to let Democratic voters determine the direction that the party goes in. And if it goes in the direction which I'm pretty confident it won't, well, if it goes in that direction, then I'm going to be 82. Okay, I'm fine. Fine, go ahead, but not with me. Garfield also said he would leave the party if Piker became a significant force within, while Senator Bernie Sanders responded to Garfield could start his own party. It's very interesting. I agreed. I agree with all of him. I agreed what David Alex said. I agreed with Denny said. I agreed with James Garfield. The Democratic Party needs to go back to the center. They need to go back to being, the centrist, being the middle. They cannot keep going forward to the left. They're destroying their party, going, into the fucking socialist, tanky, communist party. They need to go. They need to go back to the Democratic Party like it was during the Clinton years. You could say the early Obama years was more to the center, where Democrats used to care about the working class. Because back in the day, the Democrats were the party of the working class. They used to care about unions. They used to care about the working class. They were against war. They were anti-war. They used to be for closed, secure borders. They used to support ICE back in the day. Ironically. They were, like stopping crime because they had the crime bill back in '94 when Bill Clinton was in office. Democrats back then actually balanced the budget with Bill Clinton with the help of Newt Gingrich with the Contract of America back in '94. Trying to think what else they used to be in favor of. Basically, they were. Honestly, they were always, more big government, the government like helping out, with the social programs. But Democrats were pretty moderate. They were reasonable on every issue. There are certain things that you could, disagree with them, like they were, they relied too much like on the government, and they, stuff like that. The climate stuff I honestly didn't agree with, but. The Democratic Party in the 90s and early 2000s, we're a reasonable party, man. It's just like the last 10 years, they've moved forward to the left after Trump, won in 2016. I feel like the Democratic Party just got fucking mind fucked after Trump won in 2016. They're trying their best how they could, basically defeat him. That's why they went forward to the left. And because, Republicans, like Trump, who was like a fucking, populist. So they're trying to basically kind of duplicate what Trump did back in 2016. And the problem is that because they had too much weight with the sun, and they've been taken over by people that are, I'm not trying to say in a way where I don't sound fucking racist, man. I'm gonna kind of say PC. They've been. There's one guy who say I don't want to get banned, so I don't want to get banned. The problem is they have a lot of candidates trying to make it PC. They have a lot of candidates that have a soft spot for Islamic terrorism that don't really condemn like 9/11, that they don't really condemn October 7th. There's a lot of people who like these tankies are anti-Semitic. A lot of them are coated with communist countries. That's like their biggest fucking issue at the moment. So that's just like my opinion. Hopefully one day the Democrats go back to what the Democrats used to be back in the Clinton days. Because if the Democrats were like what they were, back when Bill Clinton was president, I probably would have been a Democrat. I would have been a Democrat back in the '90s. Because back then they shared a lot of my opinions. Why would want to be a Democrat when the kids do about identity politics? They constantly care about fucking 4-1 Middle East. That's not our issue. And they want to empty out the jails. They basically hate capitalism. Why the fuck would I be with a party like that? No way. And in the Republican side, I wish the Republican Party went back to the traditional Republican Party where they care about free markets. cared about, peaceful strength, not constantly getting us in these wars in the Middle East, where we actually, care about free market capitalism, not this retarded populist bullshit with the tariffs, not any this far right anti-Semitism shit. So, but that's never gonna happen. Both parties have gone insane, sadly. It's because they've done the wrong. They've been able to get these weirdos on both sides to take over and destroy it. Rogers opens the door to Democrat voters if outside primary victory. They're still up there. So let's see. We go look at this. Like if Mike Rogers wants to go on my stream, I'm so happy to interview him. Seriously, I will fly to Michigan. I will Texas. We could do it somewhere here. We could do it different location. We go to Michigan. Like Mike Rogers campaign. If you're listening, I would not mind campaigning with Mike Rogers. I wouldn't mind interviewing him. Seriously, I would love for him to come on. I would love that. It'd be great if he came on the stream. So if you guys are listening, just let me know. That's all I'm saying. Let's get to the article. Republican Senate nominee Mike Rogers opened doors to Michigan Democrats on Friday after far-left progressive Abdul outside. Primary victory assuring them there is still hope, adding they're having home with this campaign. If you're among the majority of the Democrat voters that woke up on Wednesday feeling hopeless because the person who won does not represent your families, well, just know there's still hope, Rogers said in a video posted on X on Friday. Michigan serves as senators and he's ready to sit with you and hear from you and represent you. Also, nearly defeated Representative Haley Stevenson in one of the most nation's most closely watched Democratic primary Senate a November showdown with Rogers, who run uncontested. Rogers addressing Democratic voters directly, casting his campaigns as a home for those who feel their families are not reflected outside candidacy as he tries to court the hundreds of thousands of Democrats who voted for Stevens, but may not feel comfortable voting for outside parents across Michigan who wanted an education system that sets up kids for success. And when you have a home with us, he says two grandparents across Michigan who are heartbroken from watching their kids and grandkids live to say you have a home with us. To the young people who are looking for real solutions to solve our house and affordability crisis, you have a home with us. To working families who don't want higher taxes and lower paychecks, well, you have a home with us. Rogers also accused outside as giving a prone anger, divisiveness, and calls for violence. And views, he says, are outset with Michigan voters and the vast majority of people across Michigan who do not want to throw their support behind a campaign filled with anger, divisiveness, calls for violence, and the views that are out of touch with your values. And well, if you have a home with us, he said. If Rogers wins in November, Republicans would flip the seat held by retiring Democratic Senator Gary Peters and help protect their control of the Senate over the next 90 days. I'm going to work hard, turn your trust, earn your support, and earn your votes, Rogers said. We have a state to save, Michigan. Let's get to work. Rogers outreached the Democrats, was praised by some conservatives and opponents on social media. In a post on X, former DSA member Jake Altman wrote, I voted for Biden, I voted for Harris, I will vote for Mike Rogers. Wow, that's good. Damn. I just donated to the campaign. This is not time to sit on your hands and stand for the man who fights terrorists, not the one who sympathizes with them. Mike Rogers directly asked for Democrats to support him in Michigan. The majority of Michigan Democrats voted against Abdul Zayed. This is well done. Al Good. Kick founder plagiarized by the next year. Sorry, I changed my song. Sorry, I changed my song. Sorry about that. Sorry. Just need 1 second. Sorry, there we go. Sorry. Another post on X. Democrats for Mike Rogers wrote, Mike Rogers is being involved with putting country over the party. In film for Mike Rogers in November, it's never been more important. We must unite and defeat the extremism of Abdul El-Sayed and his allies. El-Sayed, an ophthalmologist and a former Wayne County health director who unsuccessfully ran for governor in 2018, has campaigned on Medicare for all bullshit, immigration, and basically, ICE. He has also been a vocal critic of Israel during its war with Hamas, and has called Israel's actions in Gaza genocide. He would become the nation's first Muslim senator if elected. As some Democrats grapple with the direction of their party following El-Sayed's nomination, Rogers said the fight is far greater than just left versus right. The fight is for the soul of the nation, he said. Good. That's good. Great fucking message, man. That's a great message. Great fucking message, man. Keep saying more of that, dude. Seriously, keep saying more about how you want to help fix the working class, how you want to fix the economy, how you want to make help kids in schools, and help grandparents, with Social Security in retirement, and how you want to fix, help the working class get higher wages. Keep saying all that, man, and keep criticizing all this stuff that Abdul Zayed is saying. Yes, he basically is promoting the divisives and violence, political violence. He literally kind of friend Mike Rogers, says you shouldn't feel safe in Michigan. That was basically calling for harassment. So keep saying more of that. Keep criticizing that he's hanging out with his son. Keep saying show all the things that all the hypocrites of the Abdul Zayed has said. That he's basically not, that he's trying to advocate for, that he's not even doesn't truly believe in. He says all that, and he says he wants to keep advocating the fight to help the working class, help fix the economy, and make Michigan a cheaper state. That he will get elected. Keep saying more of that. Good. It's good. I like that. So, like I said, if he wants to come on the stream, I will be happy to fucking interview him. Like I said, I will fly to Michigan if he ever wanted to be in Michigan, if he wanted to come down here, or if he just wanted or we could talk online. I don't know if he knows what Discord is, but we could do like Google Meets or something like that. Well, I don't know if people still use Zoom. I haven't used Zoom since 2020, so I don't know if he would use Zoom or not. I don't know. So, yeah. Just give me a second. And I buy a lottery ticket right after. Sorry. Well, yeah, he definitely should say more of that. That's a great message. Keep saying more of that. If you keep saying that for the next 90 days, you will get elected. Do not back down. Hopefully he wins. His chance, I know, sadly, Steve Hill's chance of becoming the governor really fucking slim, because conservatives don't exist out there. They just don't exist out there. If he was in a swing state, his chances would be a lot higher. So I like Steve Hill. So okay. I was trying to think which one to look at. Alright, that's all the articles. Those are some pretty good articles that we looked at. We'll go watch the Fox News videos. We'll look at the Fox News videos. Then after that, we'll do our reacts like as normal. So yeah, let's get into it. Obviously. I saw, part of that yesterday. It was very good. I did watch the 5 again. I'm sorry. Sorry, I keep watching the 5 on my own, man. I'm sorry, guys. You guys are mad at me. I did. Trying to find like a good one. I'm tired of the Iran stuff. We're not gonna look at the fucking Iran stuff. I'm sick and tired of hearing about it. Trying to find like a really good one. We could probably look at that one in a minute. Trying to say, sorry. This is about the midterms. Yo, this one is probably an important one.
It's on now. Some Democrats telling the Faulkner Focus it is a civil war inside the Democrat Party. A centrist group, the Third Way, is ready to take on the Democrat Socialists of America, or DSA. The Third Way is about to spend some big money to tamp down the influence of the radical left. The move comes after Abdul El-Sayed's U.S. Senate primary win in battleground state Michigan. I'm Harris Faulkner. You are in the Faulkner Focus. Here's a headline that frames it this way. Moderate Democrats prepare for a war against an ascendant left. Another highlights the centrist anxiety and anger. Quote, 2026 is turning into a bloodbath for safe seat House Democrats. Another battleground state, Wisconsin, will be a big test for the socialist movement again. DSA endorsed State Representative Francesca Hahn is looking to become the next governor there. Here she is laying out her radical platform.
Rapid fire. Do you support repealing Act 10?
Yes.
Universal child care?
Yes.
Free school meals?
Yes.
It's funny how these people constantly just
Abolishing
fucking
ICE.
with facade. It blows my mind.
Service industry. We are finally having this conversation about, how our industry really did come from, and kind of is rooted in white supremacy.
Kimberly Strassel is asking in her brand new column, can Democrats resist socialism? This part of it. Most of the Democrat world knows the socialist swerve is the dumbest political move ever, including some candidates themselves. So why is the party letting this happen? To date, the only defensive tool it has been its bank account to support opponents of social candidates. That isn't working for an obvious reason. Voters are in an anti-establishment, anti-incumbent mood, end of quote. Wisconsin Senator Ron Johnson joined me in Focus.
I think this is alarming that the mask is off. I think many Democrats have run, lying to the American public. They're closet socialists and communists themselves hold these similar types of views. But they've always been constrained, realizing the American public would reject this and they wouldn't be electable. Now they're up front. They're in your face with these types of views.
Coming up, our bipartisan power panel. First, I want to go straight to Mark Meredith in Washington, D.C. reporting. Mark.
Harris, good morning to you. Democrats in Wisconsin get to pick their gubernatorial nominee, but it is the pundits, the fundraisers, and the politicians coast to coast who are raising concerns about Francesca Hahn, as well as Democratic socialists overall.
I'm a very proud, common sense Democrat, and I don't think DSA members are Democrats. They're socialists, right? And I'm all for them having their own party if they want one.
Yeah.
But if they're trying to take over our party, that's unacceptable to me.
Stop them.
I reject what the DSA is
Go back to actually telling the working class.
DSA is a radical extremist movement trying to take over the Democratic Party. They want to seize the means of production.
The National Democratic Party is still in rebuilding mode after their 2024 losses. The party has been struggling both with fundraising and internal leadership struggles. While leaders there insist they are a big tent party, some Democrats want a course correction. The leading centrist group New Way is launching a $15 million effort between now and 2028 to discredit democratic socialism. And progressives who are now nominees, like Michigan's Abdul El-Sayed, though, are making some friends. Moments ago, former Vice President Kamala Harris endorsed him. them. This weekend, California's Gavin Newsom and former Transportation Secretary
They're both
Pete Buttigieg are going to be making
grifters.
stops in
They're
Michigan to show
fucking
support for
grifters.
the
They're just
Democratic
doing this
ticket.
so they can run
But there are other
their class, so
Democrats,
she can
Harris,
run
as we
their
played in the
class
clip, but also
again.
national Democrats getting attention.
So
They're
Gavin
raising
needs to
alarm
run
bells,
for
including
president.
Pennsylvania's
No
John
one's gonna vote for
Fetterman and
fucking
Colorado's
Jackie.
Governor Jared
No one's
Polis,
gonna vote for
who are
Kamala
worried
Harris
about the
again.
socialist movement that's spreading in certain parts of the country. Harris.
All right. Thank you very much for setting us up with great reporting, as you always do, Mark Meredith. Power panel now. Jeremy Hunt is a former U.S. Army captain and Hudson Institute fellow, and Jose Aristimuño is former DNC deputy press
I don't know
secretary.
any of these fucking people.
Jose, I'm going to start with you because the list now is long of those who have really been backing some of the socialist darlings. And as the list grows, you've got at the head of it Senator Bernie Sanders. I thought maybe you guys thought on the left you had tamped this down when he didn't make it to the nomination for the White House. What happened?
You're exactly right, Harris. I thought we had it under control. Clearly, we don't. Look, the DNC and the party leadership needs to step up. Ken Martin, the chair, needs to step up and stand up to the DSA. Look, I understand the American people are frustrated and they're looking for change. They're frustrated with not Republicans and they're frustrated with DSA. That does not represent the party, or the majority of the political Americans, right? But I will tell you, if Ken Martin does not get a hold of the Democratic Party and defend us against DSA, he's got to go.
Right.
The closest thing to fresh air in this office is your boss's screensaver.
And who do you replace him with? Because whoever comes is probably going to lean farther left because you got to control these people. It's too late, as you just said, maybe. So what do you do, Jeremy? And I'm interested from a Republican perspective because they're doing a lot of the heavy lifting for you going into the midterms.
Oh, absolutely. And let me say, to that point, that it does seem to be that a lot of these kind of Johnny-come-lately Democrats are suddenly raising alarm about the socialist takeover of their party. But look, this did not happen overnight. If you go back to 2020, that was really phase one, which is all about tearing down America, tearing down any symbols that celebrate American history or American culture, burning businesses to the ground. Well, fast forward 6 years, we're now in 2026. This is phase two, where the socialists want to rebuild America, not as the United States of America, but as the Islamic socialist states of America. They have a totally radically different vision for our nation that they are rebuilding, and it's a little bit delayed to now try to fight back against it from within the party because there's been so much ground the socialists have taken already.
Former top Obama advisor David Axelrod posted, quote, "It would be good for El Sayed if Francesca Hong loses. He is a serious person. She is a font of zany liberal faculty lounge exotica. But Republicans hoping to deflect attention from an unpopular president would surely try and link Abdul and Hong as philosophical kin. In fact, they are exactly philosophical kin. Here are the policies they share. So while David Axelrod wants to split these two up, this is what they agree on. And this is just the short list. Everything from abolishing ICE to massive tax hikes, Medicare for all. And this morning, Hong reacted to Axelrod this way. This tweet is a perfect example of why the consultant class keeps losing elections. They're totally clueless, and they're hell-bent on keeping working-class people out of politics. I spent more time in kitchens than faculty lounges. Perhaps you'd like to come to Wisconsin and work a Friday night dinner rush with me. P.S. At me next time. I guess she wants to be included in the conversation. Maybe that'll help raise her profile and hopefully make it positive for her. Reverse order. Jeremy, your reaction.
Yeah, look, when you look at some of these candidates, they are so intent on, one, bringing about their disastrous agenda for our nation, right? You see the list of all their kind of talking points: abolish the electoral college. Some of them want to abolish the Senate. Some of these insane ideas, insane policy positions. But there's also this kind of second part to it as well, where they love being these kind of political entertainers that go on and say all these ridiculous things to get people excited and to boost their own name and their own profile. So when you you mix those two, you get some of these kind of disastrous candidates that are coming and are really going to make things a little bit easier for those of us on the right come general election time.
Look, I just want to remind everybody of something that Francesca Hong, that we shared on the program yesterday. This is what she says, Wisconsin Democrat Hong, quote, in the restaurant industry, and I say it's about effing time, her word, that we 86 Trump. I mean, that's what you have running across the aisle. And when you look at that, let's also hear a warning now from House Speaker Mike Johnson.
Right now, it's a contrast election for everybody. They've got to make a decision. Do they want to continue with common sense, growth, and opportunity, or do they want to go to this dark, dangerous, deadly road of communism? That is the contrast between common sense and crazy.
And a quick beat on that, while communism and socialism are not exactly the same thing, there is a lot of overlap and shared goals in both systems. And here are a few: economic equality, reduce large gaps between rich and poor, basically turn them against each other. Social ownership, favor collective, public or worker control of economic resources over private ownership. Anti-capitalism, argue that capitalism can produce exploitation, concentrated wealth, and unequal power. Guarantee basic needs, healthcare, education, housing, and employment for everybody. In other words, take away your autonomy to choose your doctor.
I would say, like,
look, my guest, Jose, knows exactly what this is about. Share your past and your present.
I just can't find that's exactly right. They're trying. DSA is trying to turn the United States of America into Cuba, into Venezuela. Look, I'll say this, and I agree with Mike Johnson in part that DSA folks are crazy. I think my Republicans are just as crazy as well. How do you spend $1 billion a day in a war that it's not going anywhere? We have so many problems here at home. I think it is that the good of American people want solutions. They want a pragmatic politician, whether it's a Republican or a Democrat. That's why there's a lot of folks that are saying, hey, maybe we need a third political party.
Wait a minute. Are you willing to have that third political party be the one that so many people in Venezuela and Cuba, your examples, and I know your family from Venezuela, from what you shared on this program, you want to turn us into that to get away from what you just described? People not liking either party?
No, let me be very clear. I think socialism is not the answer. We need to improve our capitalistic country. I think we can do that. And I think a majority of the Democrats and Republicans want the same thing. But the president of the state, he's got 30% approval rating, and the DSA doesn't have the answer. So we need Democrats, JFK politicians to step up to the plate and say, enough. We can have, by the way, we can be pro-economic.
You realize those Democrats you're describing are about to become outnumbered. Quick last word, Jeremy.
Yeah, look, the people who are going to save us from this crisis are not going to be the Democrats who stood idly by and honestly flirted with a lot of these socialist ideas before they realized they were being run out of their own party. I mean, look, this was not something that came out of nowhere. They knew this was coming, and they were okay flirting with it until they realized they were coming for their own seats.
All right, gentlemen, thank you very much.
Yes, like I said before, Democrats need to wake the fuck up because they're getting, take over everybody's fucking economies. Some of these retards saying, we're the big tank. We're the big tank party. We love the big tanks. Big Tent party. Like when they come into your fucking tent, they're gonna fucking kick you out of the goddamn tent. They're gonna throw you in the fucking creek, dude, leave you out stranded in the woods. They're just like, these fucking tankies are just using these established Dems as like pawns because they want them out of their own party. They literally want the Democrat Party to be fucking destroyed. That's literally their goal. They've said it many, many times. So hopefully, they wake the fuck up and realize that. Just a second. Trying to find out another one we go watch. There wasn't really a lot of good ones, to be honest. That was the only really good one. It's like I'm so tired of hearing about the Iran war. Nothing's been happening, so who cares? So, go look at this one, I guess. So the Jaws report. Probably look from this dipshit right
Across
here.
Texas, people are
So,
waking up
John's
before the
report came out
sun,
in July,
working hard,
85,000
stretching
jobs
every
were created.
dollar.
That's not very good.
I was born to one of those
Unemployment went
people.
down by a point.
All right, here
So
we go.
that's like good, I guess. We lost 23,000 jobs last month. That's bad. Obviously, that's not a good thing. The economy just keeps getting fucking worse. And the fucking, you know why we're losing jobs? Because of the Iran war. You know, things are fucking expensive. So they need to like wake the, you know, the administration.
The
is just
economy
lying to
jobs number is
people.
out for July. Employers are cutting 23,000 jobs
That's
last
not good.
night. That's well below the number we were expecting to have, about 80,000.
That's still
Unemployment rate
bad.
did drop lower,
the administration could be
4.1%. Let's get a
cheering
take
on
on that now
that.
from the White House.
Should be adding
Kevin Hassett,
jobs.
National
Not
Economic
losing
Council Director.
jobs.
Sir, good
So
day to you,
cool.
and thank you for coming back here.
Great to be here.
Just give me how do you read it? Strength, weakness. Go.
Yeah, so the strength is what we've seen before,
He's such a
construction
liar, this
workers,
guy is.
manufacturing workers, and so on. The weakness in this number were really just two things: government workers and a sort of rebound from all the employment we got from the World Cup, because the World Cup was ending. Just if you throw out the World Cup and the government workers, we actually had a number that was about plus 100,000, which is about what we expected given that the unemployment rate went down, and there's so many other factors like manufacturing booming, capital spending booming, real wages growing for the typical manufacturing worker, almost $4,000 since President Trump took office after adjusting for inflation. So there's all these strong numbers out there, and I think that we have to look through the special factors that we're trying to judge this.
Okay, all right, let's go ahead and dive in. First on artificial intelligence, impact on jobs. Is it happening or is it overrated? Your view on that right now.
Right. Well, what's happening right now is that we're seeing that firms that use AI are outperforming the competition and bringing in new jobs because their sales are going up so much. I think in the long run, there's a legitimate concern that AI might make it so that your job or my job is obsolete. And what we're doing at the White House is studying that matter very closely. We've got a large group of people together who are thinking about the long run labor force trends that are impacted by AI. But right now, what's going on is that as you see the booming stock market, because firms are booming because they're improving what they do with AI, and that's what the news is.
Okay, is it taking jobs, Kevin?
Not at this moment, no.
Okay. Participation, is that an issue with people dropping out as we went to 4.1%?
Yeah, there's a little bit of participation weakness, but most of that really comes from two things. Thing one is that the baby boomers are retiring now. We're sort of in a demographic phase where there'll be less labor force participation, and that'll keep on going for a good long time. And what that means is that when you look at the jobs number, the top line payroll number, then what you need to make the unemployment rate not go up is a smaller and smaller number of jobs. Say 3 or 4 years ago, if we had a number below around 120 or 130,000, that meant the unemployment rate would go up. Right now, the break-even point for unemployment is about 40,000 because the labor force participation is declining. And of course, the other thing is our tight border policy, so we don't have all these foreign illegal workers, stampeding into the economy, and that used to also show up as inflated.
Okay, whether here, okay, back to the side. West Texas now is pushing up about 77. It's been bopping around throughout the week, but it's been pretty much in the 70s so far. If you look at national gas price, now it's 404. A week ago, 410. A month ago, 379. A year ago, you take 316 today. What role is the Iran conflict playing in our economy right now?
Oh, it's definitely increasing energy prices some, and that's something that's a temporary phenomenon. As soon as this thing is resolved, then of course things will go back. In fact, production has gone up by so much that we expect the energy prices are going to drop way below where they were below the conflict once the conflict is over. The bottom line is that in these summer months where people are driving a lot, gas prices are higher, but wages are higher too. And if you net out inflation against wages, the real wages have been growing despite this shock, which means real wages are going to be through the roof once the shock is over.
Okay, so here's something that was kind of serious. Wall Street Journal this week with the Fed chair. Trump has called Kevin Warsh repeatedly since he became Fed chair. The president sought Warsh's counsel on issues such as how the war in Iran is affecting the economy. Shed some light on their relationship. He was the president's pick.
No, and in fact, Kevin and the president have been friends for a long time. And Kevin is somebody who everybody in the White House has relied upon for sage advice when there's something, hey, I saw this. What do you think about that? What would you think about the jobs report today? Should I worry about the negative number, or should I throw out the hospitality workers, the government workers? That's the kind of stuff that we've all been talking to Kevin Worth about for decades. And so whether the president is talking to Kevin or not, I can't confirm or deny because I'm not sitting there with the president's phone, but I can say that he's been talking to Kevin Worth for decades. So that's one reason why he's confident that he's such a good figure.
As of today, do you think they raise rates in September 15th, before the election?
We respect the independence of the Fed, but certainly this number takes a lot of pressure off of them to do that.
Kevin Hassett, thanks for your time.
Thanks, Bill.
Yeah, it's kind of sad now that economy's done so bad. Even Fox News can't really even defend it anymore. This guy is such a liar. He's such a smug. Him and Sky Bastard are both smug fucking liars. Because, the economy's still doing good. AI's really helping the government. AI's fucking hurting the economy. AI has caught like a lot of people's jobs. You want to run just make gas prices skyrocket. So it's gonna have effect. It's gonna have a massive effect on the economy. It's jacking inflation. The tariffs last year killed the economy. A lot of businesses had to lay people off because of the high, prices from the tariffs. With the deportations last year had an effect. And the labor market's been on a slump. It showed that wages for this month went by 3.2%. That's the lowest in 5 years. Won't be fucking dude, man. It's went by 5 years, dude. 5 years long, they're celebrating that shit. Not being honest, it's pretty pathetic. That's the reason why they listen to these DSA people, because they keep constantly saying that the economy's doing great. It's not. They're lying to the American public. They're gaslighting every day, and they're basically saying that you're fucking delusional, you're fucking retarded. That's what the last administration did when the last administration had time to be questioned about, about inflation and the cost of living. The last administration would call us far-right extremists. They would call us just MAGA delusional retards. It's transitory. It's going to go down. It never really went back down. Even though inflation went down from 9.1% to 2.9 when Biden left office. But the prices never went down, even though inflation went down, we still felt the effects from 9% inflation at the grocery store with houses because all the reckless spending that we've been doing since COVID, and all the money we sent into the Middle East and the Ukraine, and all the money we spent on the military, the money we spent during COVID, and it's a big problem. So, fuck, I was about to say something, I kind of lost it for a minute. Shit, I was saying something about the economy. Something from the last administration. Oh yeah, we are still feeling the effects from the COVID shock. From the COVID supply chain issue. Even though that was 5 years ago, like I said, the economy has never been the same. Even though inflation went down towards the last year and a half of Biden, we still felt the effects. From when it was at 9% in 2022, because as you know, with inflation, when prices go up by a lot, they never go back down. They go down slightly, but never goes down to the effect that it was before. The only way that prices would go extremely low, how it was, pre-COVID, you would have to do massive deflation. That's kind of virtually impossible. If you do a massive deflation, what was before COVID, it would cause a severe recession. And also, the companies have gotten greedy now. They can just dictate like how they want to set prices, because a lot of them now are just kind of like make an excuse because we have to like raise prices because of the tariffs. Like basically Trump just gave like basically the excuse to go do that. So prices will never go down like it was back before COVID. Now we'll never experience like the 2019 cost of living ever again, sadly. All the reckless spend during COVID with supply chains being shut down, all the spend we're doing with the war in Iran, and with the DSA trying to basically destroy capitalism, they're just gonna make the economy worse, sadly, and that's the reason why these DSA dickheads are getting into power, and it's just very, very annoying that these DSA people are like getting power. So yeah. Let me see. Should I watch one more political video? I might watch like one more political video. Maybe like a short one. Then after that, we'll get into the reacts. I fucking watched that. I watched it on stream. I already watched that. So, let me see if I can find it. Then we're gonna play Beast of Reincarnation. I want to try that out, see what it is, because I don't know really how it's gonna be. Some things that are, this is the casting of Marvel Studios X-Men so far. I didn't watch this too long. That's good. That's you know what? That's actually good. You know what? I'm trying to figure out. Sorry. Definitely a good call. We need a lot more of these. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out. I don't know if I should. No, that's okay. I think. Let me see. I mean, this looks like a Spider-Man. Oh, give me a minute. Just give me a second. I'm sorry. Oh, shit, a second. Sorry. So, Tucker's trying to start his new fucking political party. So, we're trying to find, I'm not trying to find, a super long one. So yeah, Tucker's trying to basically start his new political party. So that's, see how that goes. He actually falls from that. Elon said he was gonna, do that last year. Then, obviously, that never happened. We'll look at it. See the Young Turks.
Extraordinary photograph that emerged over the weekend. And you were in this picture. It was at Tucker Carlson's home. You're in there with Marjorie Taylor Greene, Thomas Tucker. What was this? There is word that you're all, as Marjorie Taylor Greene put it, a new political movement. Could this involve establishing a new party?
So that was yesterday. Today we're back together again on the Young Turks at Piers Morgan. So Joe, tell us, could it potentially be a new third party?
Certainly could. I mean, when I got together with Tucker, with Thomas Massey, Marjorie Taylor Greene, as we were just kind of comparing notes, most of us came to the conclusion that most Americans that we talk to, they're sick of the Republicans, they're sick of the Democrats. Now, most of us, have been in Trump world for quite some time. All of us kind of had our own, break, to put it politely, with the Trump administration. And even a lot of hardcore Trump supporters right now, they feel very betrayed. I mean, one of the core tenets of President Trump's agenda was no more endless wars. We felt, I became a Trump supporter in 2016 when Trump went after Jeb Bush on the debate stage, because I served and fought in Iraq, lost lots of friends there. have all come to our own conclusions that, look, this is not working. And the confines of the traditional Republican Party, the traditional Democrat Party, most people are just sick of that. And so we do think that there is, I would say, from, a lot of your viewers, from people who find themselves, more on the left, people who find themselves more on the right, we don't think the current political system is working just because of the results on the ground. No matter who we vote for, we get another war in the Middle East. No matter who we vote for, AIPAC and these major donors, most of whom most Americans don't even know, they dictate a policy that sends our best young men and women off to go fight and die in foreign battlefields. They make our taxes go up, and then they give us nothing back in return but more debt and more wars. And so I do think there is a growing hunger in this country to have a very basic and very simple agenda that says that we're not going to get involved in more foreign wars. We're not going to let foreign lobbies dictate our foreign policy, and we're going to address the needs of the American people. So that was the gist of what we were discussing there. Now, how that's going to look in the future, there's a lot more nuts and bolts work that needs to be done there, because as I think you understand, running as a third-party candidate is challenging, not impossible, but it is very challenging. But that's kind of the consensus that we came to, that the current system just simply doesn't work, and we have to find something new to save our country.
So speaking of our audience, we're actually asking our audience both on tyt.com and on our YouTube channel's post section. Should Tucker Carlson, Joe Kemp, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and Tom Massey form an independent third party that is truly America first? Just yes or no. I'm curious what our audience is going to say about that. But to your point, Joe, let me skip ahead to graphic 6 here. Let me show you the favorable and unfavorable for the Republican and Democratic parties. They're actually very similar. It's 58-40 and 59-39 in the two different parties. It's nearly identical. And in the old days, it would have been 58% favorable, 40% unfavorable, but now it's reversed. It's 58% unfavorable for the Republicans and 59% unfavorable for the Democrats. So, and now 45% of voters are independents. They're larger than the Republican or the Democratic parties. Almost never talked about mainstream media. Mainstream media loves the fake fights of the uniparty and how they all somehow magically come to the same conclusion, as Joe pointed out there. But Joe, if you guys did this party, would it be just for the presidential elections, or could there be other seats that you guys run for?
I think there definitely could be other seats. I think focusing, though, actually on the executive branch is probably the most pressing issue, because the president has the most control over our foreign policy. All the other issues that the uniparty likes us to fight about, the president actually doesn't have a lot of unilateral authority over. When you start talking about the social issues that divide America, when you start talking about the more local issues, you've got a lot of control at the state level, for sure. But then you've also got to deal with the House and the Senate. This is why I think a lot of presidents do get wrapped around the axle with foreign policy, because anywhere else they want to work, especially in the domestic space, they have to get the consensus of the House, of the Senate, of the states, etc. But then when they go over to foreign policy, they're essentially the king of the world. And that's why the foreign lobbies and the military-industrial complex spend so much money lobbying the president on his foreign policy. And so I think if we started with the executive branch with the presidential election in 2028, and we started forming a broad coalition that doesn't agree on everything, doesn't agree on social issues, doesn't agree on a lot of domestic issues, but we agreed we're done with the foreign wars, we're done with the foreign lobbying, we're going to work together to do what's right for the American people, I do think we'd have a real chance of putting the Republicans and the Democrats to a side and just focus on this issue. Because, every president says they're going to do all these different things on the domestic side. A lot of people on the MAGA base right now are complaining why President Trump's domestic policies haven't been addressed. And I can tell you why, because we've spent all of our time, money, and effort over on these wars in the Middle East. And it's been the same for multiple presidents over and over again. So I think starting with the presidential run in 2028, that broad coalition, and I think that broad coalition already exists. There was a lot of crossover between Bernie Sanders and between Donald Trump. I've had people point out that I voted for Bernie Sanders at one point in time. And they're like, but then you were a Trump guy. And I'm like, actually, do you realize how much similarity there was between what Bernie Sanders was saying and what Donald Trump was saying on the stump at the end of the day? Because they were both anti-establishment. They both wanted us out of the foreign wars. They wanted to put the American worker first. So I do think there's a lot of potential there. And I think that could eventually spiral down to other down ticket seats as well. But I think starting with the 2028 to ensure that we get out of the foreign wars is a good starting point.
Yeah, and obviously, I think one of them meant it and the other one didn't, and the proof's a little bit in the pudding. But that's water under the bridge. Now we're going to the future, and I've got some tough questions about that in a sec. But first, just a couple of quick ones here. Who called the meeting? Let's be honest. Running a business means constantly putting out fires and trying to grow at the same time. You don't need more meetings. You don't need more red tape. You need
seeing each other in passing. We said, hey, let's pick a date. I don't remember exactly who that was. I think we all just decided, hey, Tucker's got a great place up in Maine, and if he'll have us, let's go up there. So we basically, between myself, Marjorie, and Thomas, we just kind of invited ourselves over to Tucker's house, and he's a gracious enough host that he fed us dinner and facilitated the conversation.
So was there any conversation about who would lead the party?
Not quite yet. I mean, we're going back and forth, and I'd say all of us at one point in time told Tucker he needs to run, and Tucker's been pretty public that he's not going to run. So we all made our pitch to Tucker as to why he should run, and hopefully he wakes up one day and Tucker says he's going to run. I would fully support that. But right now, it was mostly just on how we need to work to build a broader coalition, and then look at, is it feasible to actually do a third political party? Could we get on the ballot in all 50 states? Because I just remember the Kennedy campaign had some real issues with even getting ballot access just a couple of years ago. So I think we know conceptually where we're at in terms of, like, could we put together a movement? I think we really could, because I think there is a hunger for it in the country. But then once we get that movement established, would we be picked apart by procedure and not even be able to get someone on the ballot? Does it make more sense than to run as an insurgent candidate in one of the major political parties? That's the stuff that we're trying to figure out right now.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. So, look, conventional wisdom is to get on the ballot in all 50 states, even if you were able to jump through all the bureaucratic hurdles, which I think that if you put enough effort and money behind it, you probably could, will take at least 10 to 20 million. These days, it's probably closer to 20 or beyond. So is the plan to raise that from if you guys do it, from the grassroots? Because on the left, it would be kind of obvious. Our insurgents are not just against AIPAC, but against all corporate PAC money. So I don't know if you guys discussed that at all, about taking or not taking corporate PAC money and leaning on grassroots or not.
We all know, especially, I ran for Congress unsuccessfully, and then Thomas and Margie have been there. We know that the corporate PAC money, especially AIPAC, et cetera, that's how they get you. I mean, that is how the lobbies end up owning so many of our elected officials. So we all definitely recognize that there is a lot of power in the grassroots. We wouldn't have as much money as anyone in the establishment, but that's okay. We could use social media. There's platforms like yours right here I'm talking to you on. The Young Turks, Tucker's got a huge platform. I mean, Margie has a pretty huge platform. Thomas does now as well. So we think that nowadays, with the environment on social media, with unconventional media, we think that we could raise it all from the grassroots. And I think we would have to stick to that commitment, because the second you start taking the corporate PAC money, then, you get across the finish line, but what was it all for? You're not truly in charge anyways. So I think raising the money from the grassroots and then filling in the gaps in money with the tools of social media and having a legitimate grassroots campaign to get us over the finish line, as opposed to raising, $1 billion. That's the way we'd have to go to stay true to the movement.
So, Joe, any conversations about one of the toughest issues? How do you appeal to the left? Obviously, we've got some significant disagreements: LGBTQ rights, abortion, all the social issues that we've all been fighting over for the last, many decades, probably our whole lives. So, any strategy on how to get past that and appeal to the left?
I think it's, especially for the presidency, I think it is having a very, very simple platform. And it's acknowledging up front, like, we are going to disagree on a lot of domestic policy and a lot of social issues. At the end of the day, the president can talk a lot about all those things, but he really doesn't have a lot of power. We do agree that we don't want Israel dictating our foreign policy. We don't want any more foreign wars. We don't want to have to run a massive empire all over the rest of the world. And so we build a broad coalition that says we agree on these things. And then from there, when we go to make any kind of decisions that are going to affect the divisive issues, that it's going to be more of a open discussion. And we're going to keep the presidency, the executive branch, focused focused on ensuring that we have the space, because we're not involved in all these different foreign wars. We have the space and we have the resources back here in America so that we can sort out all those other domestic issues relatively down ballot, essentially. So those other issues would be handled in the House, would be handled in the Senate, they'd be handled at the state level. Therefore, if you built this very, very simple platform, but a broad coalition, people could vote top ticket, for the, whatever it is, the independent party that wants to keep us out of the foreign wars and stop AIPAC from calling all the shots. But then down ticket, if abortions are number one issue as a Republican or as a Democrat, as a pro-life or as pro-choice, then that could affect how they're going to vote in the House or the Senate. I would even say, your educated voter is going to realize that abortion in particular is probably more of a state issue at the end of the day. But I think if we can just articulate what the president can truly control in a unilateral fashion and where we agree, and we focus on that, because at the end of the day, I think every American right now who's been active politically, they should realize that when you're talking about the presidency, there is no policy but foreign policy. There's a lot of domestic things Obama wanted to do that those of us on the right were like, he can't do that. It's going to be the end of the world. But then when he got into office, he was too busy overthrowing Syria and Libya and expanding the war in Afghanistan to really get any of that accomplished. Same thing with President Trump and this administration. There was a lot of things that MAGA and the right was really passionate about on the domestic end. They're not getting a lot of those things. What they are getting is enough before in the Middle East. So at the end of the day, until we sort that out, all these other issues that, MSNBC and Fox News want us yelling at each other about actually don't matter.
So there is one domestic issue that would matter a lot. And even if the president couldn't do something about it directly, he certainly could put an enormous amount of attention on it. How about getting money out of politics?
And I think that's the reason why these special interest groups like AIPAC have so much power, is because they can flood the zone of hundreds of millions of dollars that an individual candidate simply can't raise, and then Americans don't understand why, regardless who they vote for, they get another foreign war, or our food is poisoned, or you pick the issue. There's just so much money in politics. That's going to be complicated because of Supreme Court rulings. But I think if you are of the mind that a lot of my friends are in what used to be MAGA or on the right, we understand that money is really what destroyed the MAGA movement, for lack of a better explanation, a more in-depth explanation. It was the money from the donors that caused President Trump to get us involved in this disastrous war and probably work against other agendas that he campaigned on as well. So I would agree that we need to figure out a way to get money out of the politics. Again, there's an issue there for Supreme Court ruling, but I think, again, if us and the left agree on that issue, that we would be better off having grassroots campaigns and having candidates actually have to get up in front of the people and articulate what their views are, as opposed to who can get the most money to run the most garbage AI slop ads, that our country would be in a much better spot.
Yeah, and money also destroyed the Democratic Party, and that's why it's got the disapproval ratings that it does, because they never do anything because the corporations tell them not to do anything. And then foreign governments tell them, no, focus on us instead of your own citizens, and they listen. Money talks, and so that's been a huge problem. All right, final question. It's a tough one. So what happens to J.D. Vance in this equation?
I'll keep this quick. We need a huge number of donations today to flip this U.S. Senate seat in Texas. If everyone watching this right now made a contribution.
Look, I like JD. He's in a tough spot. His name's on the ticket, and he has had to go along with a lot of what's taking place in this administration. And look, at the end of the day, he is going to have to answer to a lot of those same donors because he was on the ticket. And so unless he changes things drastically, which I don't even know if he has the power to do, at this point, he's still going to be at the mercy of a lot of the people that are still pulling the strings within the Republican Party. And I think this is just some of the trap of the Republican Party and the Democrat Party, because if you lock us into this two-party system, you basically have to pick your side, and then you have to go down with the ship, and that's the position that JD's in right now, because President Trump put the ship on the heading towards the iceberg, for lack of a better metaphor. So look, I personally like JD. I think he, by and large, has tried to do the right thing in this, but again, he's had to get out there and he's had to advocate for this war. And so he is still associated with it. And this war is going to have, unfortunately, this war is going to have horrible ramifications. To what degree, we fully don't know. We're already starting to feel a lot of those effects. And so it's going to be very hard for, J.D. Vance or anybody else who stayed in the administration to come back out in 2028 and say, trust me this time, guys. Because I just don't think that that's going to be a compelling message to a lot of the first-time Trump voters, to the groundswell that President Trump got in 2024 that had him win the popular vote and the electoral college. People aren't going to go with retread promises like, no, I mean it this time. I was kind of against that stuff, but this time you can trust me. I just, even with, a guy like Vance, who I like, I just don't think that that's feasible in 2028.
Interesting. So it sounds like you guys have kind of given up on J.D. Vance at this point.
I know all of us still personally like him, and I know he's trying to do the right thing. So I wouldn't say we fully gave up on him. He's a captive of the two-party system right now, and he's unfortunately a captive of what MAGA has become. That's just kind of where we're at.
Every time you ring the bell below,
it was pretty good.
Totally not true.
Oh shit, it was pretty good. I don't really know a lot about Joe Kent. I've agreed with Joe Kent about the Iran war. Because I think the Iran war's been a fucking disaster, obviously. But it looks like there's something way out of it. I got 2 seconds, sorry. I wouldn't mind voting for a third party, obviously, because I'm not a fan of the Republican Party or the Democratic Party. But the problem is, sadly, third parties just never really work out. They always split the vote, for the Democratic Party or the Republican Party, but very recently the Democratic Party, and also all the big lobbyist donors are the pockets of the Republican Party and Democratic Party. So if they can find a way not to do any lobbyist groups, then maybe I would vote for a party. I don't trust Tucker. I'm not a fan of Tucker. I think Tucker's just full of shit. The MTG is crazy. I don't know a lot about Joe Kent, but I agree with him on the Iran war, obviously. I agree with him on foreign policy. I like Thomas Massey a lot. I've always liked Thomas Massey, how, we know how late he did with the Epstein files, how he's trying to balance the budgets, and trying to focus on domestic policies where I agree with him on. But hopefully one day we can get a third party could actually overtake the Republican Party, Democratic Party, but it's going to take a really, really long time. So, because they're not gonna the big lobbyist donors are never gonna vote for a third party because they don't like how they basically want them out of politics. I think the big donors should be out of fucking politics. I don't think any politicians or political parties should have to. They shouldn't be getting lobbyist groups or any groups from foreign countries. I think it's corrupt. So I agree with them on all that stuff. So it's my opinion. All right, we talk about all that. I enjoyed the local stuff tonight. We're gonna get into some racks now. Into the fun stuff. We're into oh shit. Fuck, just give me a second. Get into all the fun stuff. And we get see we get look at food video. What the fuck? Yeah, sorry. We can look at a lot of the mornings, so good. Trying to see if I can find one. Jesus. Give me a second. Oh. This is old. This is I remember watching this almost 2 years ago. So basically, I mean, you guys probably seen this, but if not, I watched this a year and a half ago. So Tim Tim and Queso are basically like, Queso's basically like the younger version of Tim. They look the same. They both love food and they're both big people. Well, Tim's lost a lot of weight. Queso's big. I love both Tim and Queso. I've been watching Tim since 2014. I've been watching Queso the last 2 years. They basically, they react to each other on, during Would You Rather for food texting. It's an entire food war on food. So let's go watch this. This is pretty fun.
Morning, even afternoon. We got a banger for y'all today, baby. We got a video with Case here, but I want to give honorable mention as well. This is on the YouTube channel called, I think it's pronounced Canoon. I'm going to have both links in the description for obviously Case, and then on top of that, Canoon that made the video. This is a Would You Rather with Case, and it's based on food, being fat and loving food as well. I also weighed in my opinions here. I hope you all enjoyed this video. There are times in this video where I'll just let the video start. And when y'all enjoy this, hit the like, hit the sub, most importantly, be sure to tell us about it. I'll catch you in the next one.
Never eat drums ever again, or never eat flats ever again.
This is a very simple answer, Case, and I'm expecting you to agree with me. The simple answer is you will never eat flats ever again.
Yeah.
It was nice knowing you, Flats. Sorry. I can't give them up. I can't. Sorry, Flats. We'll holler at you later, though.
Never eat soda ever again.
Never want soda ever again?
I love soda.
Or never eat juice
I
ever
love
again.
soda.
Never drink soda again. What?
Never eat Parstar ever again, or never eat Pizza ever again.
Pasta.
I'm gonna have to give up pizza.
Absolute wrong. Absolute
Yeah,
wrong,
Queso's
bro.
wrong.
Oh my god, bro.
Yeah, I disagree with Case on that. He's absolutely wrong on that. I like pasta too. I like spaghetti.
Where
I like
crack,
pizza.
where hips break, where ACLs tear.
But pizza is better.
Where pain starts, Journavx begins. Journavx is a non-opioid tablet for adults with moderate to severe acute pain that reduces pain signals before.
Give up. Sorry.
Come on, Case!
Never eat cake ever again.
Dude, pasta is so much easier to give up than pizza? Are you trolling? Pizza? Bro, there are times where a bite into pizza has changed my life. I can't say that for pasta. Sometimes I will hold a pizza and I'll be ready to bite it, and the excitement I will feel is like nothing bro, it is. I am excited to put the chicken bacon ranch pizza in my mouth, bro. Never had that for pasta. It's good. Pasta's good. Let me see it.
Yeah.
Or never eat ice cream ever.
That's hard. Pretty everybody.
Never eat beef ever again. Or never eat chicken ever.
Chicken.
Oh, mac and cheese or spaghetti bolognese.
What?
I'll eat spaghetti.
Yeah, fast.
I'll eat spaghetti.
Chocolate cake or vanilla
We
cake.
already did this vanilla cake all day. Clears night.
Chocolate cake. I mean chocolate
Carrot
cake.
cake or red velvet cake.
Red velvet.
I love me some
I'm gonna say carrot cake doesn't really get the appreciation I think it deserves. I'll throw that in there though.
red velvet cake, Chad.
Brownies or pancakes.
Pancakes. That's not even a discussion.
Pancakes.
Anybody who just says brownies are banned.
That would be more valuable.
I actually agree with Case on this, by the way.
too.
I'm with him.
That is the biggest scam.
Compared to brownies, now if it was waffles or
Eat a raw
pancakes.
onion or eat a raw potato.
Raw potato.
I'd really eat a raw onion.
Fried.
Yeah, some of his quesos taste kind of stupid.
In what world would you have a raw onion or a raw potato in front of you and you had to eat one and you would choose an onion? No one in the world would choose an onion, bro. Case, what are you talking about, bro?
Fried chicken
It's hard to beat.
or cheeseburger.
What?
Oh, that's hard. That's hard. That's
I'm with that. I'm with that. That's kind of a tough one, though. I love cheeseburgers.
Coffee
Coffee. Doesn't matter. Coffee. I love coffee.
Same here.
Not even a question.
Gushers or fruit
Want to go there before
Gushers.
Give me Gushers. That Gushers are too good. They be
I
busting.
agree.
They're so good.
I agree. They bust in your mouth. It's lit.
Lunchables or Uncrustables.
Uncrustables. How's this even an option?
Crustables are
Uncrustables has the same type of fan base as Chick-fil-A does, in that you think they
You're
can
fucking the
no wrong, and that they're just the best by default, no matter what ever. But I'm here to tell you
I like
right now
Lunchables.
that
I like the
Lunchables
pizza
are overall
Lunchables.
a 10
Come on.
times better product than Uncrustables.
Uncrustables
Uncrustables are not that good. So let's sit here and stop acting like they're that good.
They're that good, bro. They're that good.
Yes, they
They're
are.
life-changing good.
They are.
Lunchables, listen, man. All right. Lunchables, let's think about it. If you're on the go, you got to like put them together sometime. You got to put this pizza together. Uncrustables, you can just grab them, bam, ready to go.
Yep.
Uncrustables, now I will give
True.
Case this. I don't like the grape one. I like the strawberry. Uncrustables.
I like peanut butter's the best one.
Strawberry Uncrustables have
Strawberry
it's not
ones
even
and
a
peanut butter ones.
contest
Peanut
with
butter ones
Lunchables,
are
bro,
the best,
truly.
in my opinion.
Chips Ahoy or Oreos.
Chips Ahoy. I love Oreos, but
I'm
Chips
assuming
Ahoy.
he's gonna pick.
I like Chips Ahoy.
Wait, it's Chips Ahoy,
Okay,
right?
I'm gonna go ahead. To all the people that make these "Would You Rather" videos, let me go ahead and tell you something real quick.
It's hard. I love both. I like Chips Ahoy a little bit
Oreos. It
more.
is not going to win.
W case.
You cannot put any other
it's-
prepackaged cookie
I agree.
against an Oreo would win. Oreos win every single time, and it's not even in the same universe.
Cosmic brownies.
Oh my!
Don't be the nutty butters, bro.
No, don't make me
How do
choose.
you look at this in
Or oatmeal cream pie.
Okay, that's
Oatmeal
easy.
cream pies. Come on.
Cosmic
now.
brownie.
Give me the cream pie, the double stuff.
Oatmeal cream pies, dude. Come on, man.
It's 10 hours in and I'm very tired.
Eyes.
I got to. The cream pies are too good, chat.
Oh, this is exactly what I thought.
Cheez-Its or Gold.
It is.
You want to know another hot
He's
take?
gonna say
real quick that some
goldfish
people
bowl.
might not
Goldfish are
agree
better.
with? The only good flavor of Cheez-It is white cheddar.
For showing
Yeah,
me the way.
yeah, you heard me. Hey,
Oh,
you
I
heard
love
me.
both.
The only Cheez-It flavor that is edible is the white cheddar. Every other
No,
Cheez-It
he's
flavor is
wrong.
absolutely
The
disgusting.
old ones are
White
good.
cheddar
He's
only.
absolutely
so
wrong.
passionate about
Goldfish is
Jesus.
disgustingly mid. I would rather eat someone's
I
actual
love
juicy straight from the
goldfish.
source than eat a goldfish for both mid.
Goldfish.
Goldfish are. I mean, goldfish
Goldfish
sucks.
aren't that bad. Dude, I don't understand Case's food taste. This guy,
Pringles, what you talking about? You got so many different flavors of Pringles. That's not even close. Give me the Pringles.
Pringles.
I'm with that.
Go-Gurt or Trix Yogurt.
I have never had.
I was about to. You know what's funny? I was going to say, is he old enough to have had a Trix yogurt? Because if you're old like me, this is actually an interesting one. I would go Trix yogurt because I'm old enough. But I bet he has never even had a Trix yogurt. Is that what he said?
Go-Gurt or Trix Yogurt.
I have never had Trix yogurt. Give me Go-Gurt. Yo, ban the guy that just called me J. Cola.
Give up olives or give up mushrooms.
I don't like any. Fuck them. I don't
You
care.
like
I don't
mushrooms?
care.
myself up before you make me
Bro,
give up mushrooms.
Me and Case have such different palates, which is insane because we're both like at least 300 pounds. So
I have went to the store before, bought the canned mushroom, ripped the top off of it, eat all the mushrooms in there, then I drink the juice of the mushroom.
I'm not kidding you. I would only ever do that, ever, in a survival, like nuclear situation. Ever in my life will I ever rip open a can of mushrooms and eat them just raw and drink the juice. I would only do it if I like a nuclear bomb had went off and it was the only food option that I had.
Mushrooms might be one of the best foods on the planet. I will never give up mushrooms.
It really is astonishing to think, bro. Both me and Queso achieved 300 pounds.
Yeah, some of the fucking tasteless food takes are kind of wild, man. He doesn't like goldfish. He likes mushrooms. He likes raw onions. Some weird ass taste. I still great self, man. It's just kind of weird ass.
Imagine choosing from 100 plus meals a week that are healthy and also delicious. Let's be real. Factor's menu is way healthier than the competition. Their chefs
completely different food palettes. It really is impressive if you think about it, man.
Give up apples or give up bananas.
I'll take both.
Give up pancakes or give up waffles.
Sorry, waffles.
That's a hard one. I love waffles. I do love pancakes, but I like waffles slightly.
Pancakes are too good. See ya waffle. Sorry.
Let me tell you about pancakes and waffles. Okay. Pancakes and waffles, similar batter, okay, technically. Waffles, when you are pouring syrup on the waffles, the syrup is accepted into the waffle. It wants the toppings. It wants the condiment. When you put it on a pancake, it rejects it. It rolls off. It falls away. Pancakes on top of that. You have stacks and stacks of pancakes. You don't get the syrup and butter on every layer unless you individually take the pancake off, take the pancake off, and you go pop, 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 pop. Waffles, we don't really have this problem because typically waffles are big enough that you don't need 3 stacks of pancakes. One waffle can equal 3 pancakes type thing. You know what I'm saying? That's the ratio. This isn't even like this waffle and pancake conversation. Really, this might go for generations, like truly as far as breakfast foods go. But the variety and the style that you can do with waffles, you cannot replicate with pancakes. Period. Waffles are better than pancakes.
Give up tacos or give up burritos.
Again, burritos are just tacos are not portable.
I love burritos.
I would actually give up tacos over burritos.
Yeah, I say tacos.
I'd rather not, though. For the record, I'd rather keep both.
Buddy, how hungry are you? You're judging food on being portable or not. Even I wouldn't do that. There is no way the majority of people say give up burritos. That has to be a scam. They must have missed it because there's no way.
Give up coffee or give up tea.
Goodbye coffee. I never knew that.
Tea. I like coffee.
Fuck off, tea.
Give up eggs or give up cereal.
I eat eggs a lot.
Eggs, you die. I'm pretty sure there's eggs in cereal. Eggs are literally, you call me Rob Tsunami. I'm pretty sure there's eggs everywhere. So I'm giving up cereal.
Yeah.
Give up Snickers or give up Kit Kat.
Kit Kat.
Kit Kat, I gotta let you go.
Not even a
This
question.
dude just called me Miley Pie Crust.
Give up cake or give up donuts.
Hey, there ain't nothing better than going to the gas station at 3 o'clock in the morning and get me a bag of Hostess white powdered donuts. Sorry, Kate, we're gonna have to get rid of you. I'm keeping donuts forever. What?
I don't love dessert. That's kind of a tough one. The cake, honestly, I'm still thinking about the cake and donut. I've had some incredible donuts, man. I might actually give up cake. I don't love cake. I'm a pie guy. I like pie with vanilla ice cream. I'm not really huge on cake. I've never been like, oh, I love it. You know, I've had good cake. I actually think I would give up cake too, and I go with. But like his example of the donut wasn't what I was thinking. I was thinking like I rolled into a Tim Hortons one time at 3 a.m, and they just got done making like the brand new fresh donuts, bro. Oh my lord, that's life changing.
Nah, who are they going for this? Didn't know what they were talking about.
Vanilla ice cream or strawberry ice cream.
Strawberry. No.
Strawberry's better. Strawberry ice cream's better than fucking vanilla.
Say that, dude. You can mix anything with vanilla. Case, you're starting to piss me off with your food takes. Actually, you can mix anything with vanilla, and it would like
I'm not saying
better. But you can't mix anything you really want with strawberry. That's not how that works, bro. Vanilla is better overall for that very sole reason alone. Not to mention, just in general, it tastes better.
Chocolate ice cream or mint chocolate chip ice cream.
Yeah, just take me away. I would pretty much rather eat anything on this earth than eat chocolate ice cream.
Cookies and cream ice cream.
I'd probably go mint chocolate if I had to go that.
Or Rocky Road ice cream.
Cookies and cream.
I'm with it.
Cookie dough ice cream or chocolate fudge brownie ice cream.
I agree.
Pistachio ice cream.
Is that an AI generated picture? That's gotta be the worst thing ever invented.
Or butter pecan ice cream.
Pistachio ice cream's not bad, but butter pecan is way better.
Butter pecan's pretty
Ice
good.
cream is a top 3 ice cream flavor. I got strawberry ice cream at number 1, butter pecan at number 2.
Coffee ice cream or chocolate chip ice cream.
Give me coffee. Give me coffee, bro.
Birthday cake ice cream or strawberry cheesecake ice cream.
Birthday cake.
Are you
I'm glad. You know what I am glad about? I feel like there's a lot of times where he says his thought and he's like the opposite.
Are you kidding me?
You know what I'm
Give up
saying?
chicken wings.
I'll never do it. You won't make me.
Give up chicken nuggets.
Never mind. You can't compete with chicken nuggets at the end of the day.
Give up pancakes or give up waffles.
There you go. I'm with him on the wings to nuggets. I'm with. I love both. If I had to pick one, a good chicken tender, chicken nugget. I'm just saying, man, right? Can change your life. Speaking of wings, I already had my whole waffle discussion. He's going to make me mad here, but I'm just going to.
Gotta give up waffles. Pancakes are better.
Give up croissant or give up bagel?
Give up croissant.
Croissant. Don't even.
Give up a fucking croissant, man.
If Case, I didn't hear what he was about to say. I didn't see any captions. If he gives bagels up over croissants, I am personally revoking his fat card. He's not allowed to have it anymore because there is no realm of space and time.
Oh my god! Some of Queso's takes are so shit, dude. Oh my god.
There's one spot that connects affordable GLP-1 pricing with expert support all under one roof.
Oh shit. Fucking hate when you keep doing that story.
Where you would period choose a bagel, a croissant over a bagel. There's no realm, there's no world in Doctor Strange's universe where croissants are better than bagels. It doesn't exist.
But waffles, pancakes are better.
Give up croissant or give up bagel?
I've never in my life had a bagel, so I got to give up bagels. But croissants are
what a dumb fuck. I feel the same, Timmy. Oh, dude. What can I say?
Case, give me your fat card, bro. You're not allowed to have your fat card anymore. All right, you're not, dude. You're giving up bagels over a croissant? When you bite into it, it just flakes everywhere, it falls all over you. Don't get me wrong, I don't mind an egg, bacon, and cheese croissant sandwich, but
I don't like croissants. Croissants are too messy.
Have you ever, Case, bro, please, bro, go to New York City, walk into New York City, and get any of the bagels on the menu, bro. It will literally change your outlook on life. I'm telling you, okay? They have some bagels, bro. You got a smear of cream cheese, you got egg, you got bacon, you got a little ketchup on there. Oh my lord, the fact that he just chose croissants, bro, that literally, I'm not even kidding. That I'm
give up tiramisu or
what is this?
Give up cannoli.
I don't know what a cannoli is either. I have no idea which one of these is better. I've never had these. Don't say cap. I actually never have had any of these.
Give up cannoli.
Give up macarons or give up cupcakes.
They make the pretty patties from SpongeBob.
Macaroons.
I don't know what it is, but I'm happy to I'm assuming cupcakes are better.
They are.
You put a double one in here, yo. Sushi? I think sushi goes for solid 3. Queso squid sushi on me.
Actually, I don't love sushi. Personally, I'm still just sitting here thinking about the bagel conversation.
I'm gonna put lobster in 4 because I've never had it. Beef? Yeah, go ahead, throw beef in 2, yeah. Oyster. 5? That doesn't even. Oh my goodness! If there was a slot for 10,000, I would put it there. There's literally no way that people unironically eat these. I think people only eat these to tell their friends about it. You only eat avocado.
Pancakes or waffles?
Obvious pancake.
Never eat breakfast again, or never eat dinner again.
Okay. What?
Never eat. Ooh, this is a tough one for me. I don't think I would eat dinner again though, because I love breakfast. Is my favorite. It's my favorite.
No, I can't have that. I eat every meal. So.
Pizza.
You know the variety you could get with breakfast, bro. Case, dude. How did he achieve the build he did with his food take? I'm genuinely serious. What has he been consuming that has brought him to the build he has with the takes of food he has?
Not my opinion.
Or mozzarella sticks.
I'll have pizza. Mozzarella sticks
does not get pizza here, and if he gives pizza up and he's like, "Oh, give me mozzarella sticks, bro," I'm not finishing this video.
You can't even do that.
Comment your favorite meal or reject the offer to comment.
I'm good, buddy. Hey, buddy, I'm good.
Sweet potato fries.
Oh my goodness, I would rather eat grass.
Or French fries.
I mean, French fries.
Every single person here that ever said the word sweet or potato. I don't care if it was from a year ago. Get them out of here.
Hot dog or hamburger.
A hot dog, baby! Give me like 30 of them things.
Burgers are better than hot dogs. Sorry.
For 30 straight minutes, I'll take down like 20 of them. Doesn't matter. Man, I love hot dogs.
Only eat hot meals or only eat cold meals?
I'm about to only eat hot meals. What you talking about?
Yeah, that's.
Only eat spicy food or only
eat spicy food. Don't even
bland crunchy Cheetos or Cheetos Puffs.
That's not even a
I don't know, just regular Cheetos.
I think I like crunchy. Yeah, I'm with it. I'm with majority.
Nacho cheese Doritos.
If you put Cool Ranch Doritos against these,
It's Cool Ranch. The answer is
Or
Cool Ranch.
Yeah.
Cool Ranch.
Oh, he's
Doritos.
not Doritos with Cool Ranch is better. Oh my god.
Flamin' Hot Cheetos or Takis Fuego.
Takis are kind of fire. I can't mess around.
Takis are awesome, dude.
You can't do this to me.
Taki, they're kind of different.
But one day I got a bag of Takis, and for like a year straight, I went only Takis and didn't get Flamin' Hot Cheetos anymore.
Yeah.
They agree too.
Cheddar and sour cream ruffles. Or Harvest Cheddar Sun Chips.
Sun chips. Sun chips are good.
I want Sun Chips, bro. Sun Chips.
Red
I
Sun
forgot
chips
about
are
those.
really
Those are
good.
awesome. I used to eat those like every day.
Give up Cane's for the rest of your life.
Easily. I was going to do that anyway.
Give up Chick-fil-A for the rest of your life.
Okay, as much as I claim Chick-fil-A is overrated, I would rather eat Chick-fil-A over Raising Cane's 10 out of 10 times.
I've never had Raising Cane's.
You're not missing much, Tim.
Like,
Trust me, dude. You're not missing much.
I hear it's great. I don't know. But I also love
Eat In and
Chick-fil-A.
Out
So
for the rest of your life.
Never had
no.
Or Five Guys for the rest of your life.
Over. He said he's never had it. I've had In-N-Out. I don't know what it is. I don't know what's in the water. The In-N-Out fan base is like delusional. I don't know, dude. Five Guys clears it so easily as far as quality, taste, and everything, bro. It's unbelievable.
Eat Five Guys. What? Five Guys is easy sweet. Wow, that's not even close. Okay.
Yeah, it's Five Guys.
Give up McDonald's for the rest of your life.
I would rather die.
Or give up Jack in the Box.
Give
for the
up
rest
Jack
of
in the Box. Fuck Jack in the Box.
That's not even a question, though, truly.
your life. Popeye's chicken or KFC's chicken.
KFC. I don't like Popeyes.
There have been times I've loved KFC, but Popeyes is better. Like if I really think like quality
I
for
don't like
quality,
Popeyes.
I would
I ain't a big fan
I
of
would choose
Popeyes.
Popeyes over KFC.
I'm about to say something that people's got mad at me for saying before, but I still mean it when I say it. If you catch KFC at its absolute peak versus Popeyes at its absolute peak, KFC is better than Popeyes if you're talking peak performance.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
What did he say? I don't know what he said. What did he say, man? What did he say, dude?
I'm just really just still sitting here thinking about the croissant bagel conversation.
Dude,
I
you're still going on about
can't
that?
fucking believe what I heard.
Yeah, I know.
Can't believe
It was retarded take. I know.
Like the variety of cream cheese. Dude,
I don't know. Some of Queso's opinions are stupid, but I still love Queso. I love both of them. Alright, we go look at X now. Just give me a second. Just give me a minute. Doing something with that.
I said that Aaron King Hoosier game last year. That's the closest thing I've ever seen in college to the NFL. And the NFL players.
Alright, that was fun looking at like all the reacts. You know, that was a pretty long one. I started watching a longer one. Let's go look at Yeet. And we're going to find some awkward situation and over Saquon's game. I don't give a shit about that. Someone pushes back on the toxic label for himself and his community for changing the U.S. political issue, destroying it, by the way, while playing for only carrying a dual side. I don't care what his dick kind says. Fuck him.
So again, between rehab being better, maintenance being better, nutrition being better, everybody playing longer with
The song reasons I relate post on Reddit, which is posted from the Destiny subreddit. Charlotte, look at these. Charlotte.
I think the college game is better. You're watching the be honest. That's the best Hall of Fame game anyone's ever seen.
Why is he looking at Destiny subreddit? I thought you said you don't like care. I thought you said you didn't give a shit about Destiny. So you went from fixing last with gold, and then you're back to fixing on Destiny. Then you're going back to fixing on Aspen Gold when Aspen gets unbanned. When he does get unbanned, I don't know how he's to be banned for. So we don't know how long Aspen's banned for.
Probably a backup in the NFL. The Carson back. I bet you got it. That's a joke, by the way. Don't make money betting that. Gambling is bad enough. I can see that. Gambling is bad.
It's just, like I said, he's just dumb that, he's obsessed over fucking Destiny. It's like, if you're so bothered by, people people in Destiny subreddit constantly talking about you, why not just debate Destiny, dude? Like, you're so fucking scared to debate Destiny. You literally had Destiny kicked out your event, and you friend your restraint order because you're a fucking loser, and you know that you get absolutely clobbered in debates because you can't debate. Someone could even win in the debate against Ethan fucking Klein. And Ethan Klein's a fucking retard. He is. Ethan Klein's a retard. And he couldn't even beat Ethan fucking Klein, dude. And Ethan Klein's not that educated. So it's kind of embarrassing. It's all. It's like funny. It's just funny how he's now fixing over Destiny. For a while he was fixing the Aspen Gold. Now he's back to fixing it over Destiny. He'll start fixing the Aspen Gold. When Aspen Gold gets, when he does, get unbanned on Twitch. Whatever he does, I don't know how long Aspen's going to be banned on Twitch for. We do not know how long the ban's going to be. We'll know if it's like a week ban, 2 weeks, or a month, or like a permanent ban. We don't know, man. Cause this is like the second time this year he's been banned. He got banned back in April for talking about illiterate third. I can't speak, dude. Holy fuck. Got banned back in April because he said he could fuck off illiterate third worlders. He called them like gohers or whatever the fuck it is. So. What is this? Tucker announced the interview with Hunter Biden does on Monday. We might have to watch this. Hunter Biden's doing a lot more interviews now. He did one with Channel 5 with Nick. And now he's doing one with Tucker. See the trailer for this. Oh my god. I like Thomas Massey too.
Like if you were to do a really accurate poll one day before an election, it's like 52-48, then if you were a really good poll, you might say that's like a 95% chance of 52 candidates. When you're doing the polling ahead of time, you are trying to call the point spread about what I don't think it was a matter of the whole bunch of no name pollster. I think it was a lot of
Oh shit. Man, I'm definitely gonna watch that, man. It's funny how Hunter Biden too long because he did like an interview like last year. He did one, with Channel with Andrew and with Nick Fuentes, and he's doing with Tucker. So, I don't know Hunter Biden's to see Logan run for president, but who knows, man? I can see him maybe eventually he'll probably run for president. So those people say, oh, he committed crimes. So did Donald Trump, dude. What fucking president committed crimes? He's the president, so I'm interested to see what that he's gonna look like. So I'm gonna say I didn't talk about this. The son was banned from the 2027 event at the University of Washington has been canceled. Oh man. Oof. Oh man, dude. Oh, that hurts, right? Oh man. It's funny how you started going as we go. What comes around, bitch. Fucking pussy, get fucked. So I say, fuck Hassan, but we'll read this. The University of Washington has dedicated to the free exchange of ideas, including controversial topics and involving proactive speakers. After Hassan Piker was announced as the speaker for the 2026-27 Speaker Series, there was a review of the process by which the event was planned. It was determined that the process for organizing this event did not meet the necessary level of right. I'm sorry, I can change my song. I'm sorry. Sorry about that. So change my song. I'm sorry. Writer for University hosted an event in the speaker series. As a result, this event will not be held. Going forward, procedures will be updated to ensure the standards we have for university hosted events like the speaker series are made partially so that we can help elevate the level of dialogue on the sides of topics during polarized time in our country. Yep, I don't have any sympathy for him. I know his son, is blaming Israel. He's blaming far right people for his thing getting canceled, dude. University of Washington is one of the most far left fucking schools out in the fucking country. Washington, this Washington State's one of the farthest leftist states in all the fucking country out in the Pacific Northwest, dude. I do not feel sorry for him. He's been pushing Asmongold to get banned for the last year and a half since Ashley since Ashley became the number one political streamer on Twitch. He's basically advocating for Destiny to get permanently banned. I think you saw it disband when Destiny got unbanned and got rebanned. He's advocating for like Nick Fuentes before he get canceled. Same with Aiden Ross, and his community's harassed Destiny. He's made threats about like Rick Scott. He's made threats about capitalists and conservatives, saying that they deserve to die. He's made threats towards Rick Scott. He's a terror supporter. He supports Hamas. He glazes Cuba and China. I can keep going on and on and on and on and on. So why would they have someone like that? Who's a problematic, controversial fucking person, man? Seriously. Like, would Hassan, let's say if Nick Fuentes was supposed to be speaking at events, right? Let's say if like Nick Fuentes, I'm trying to think what was supposed to speak like at Texas Tech or Texas A&M, right? Speaking of political events in Texas A&M or Texas Tech, decided that Nick Fuentes is no longer welcome. Would you think that like Hassan would be, saying that, oh, it's bullshit, Nick Fuentes should say, no, he'd be cheering about it. He would be calling just like, it's good that they're, canceling far right neo-Nazis. So he's just a hypocrite. So, he's just a fucking hypocrite. Stop supporting terrorist organizations, dude, and stop, and stop being a fucking communist, and maybe start getting fired to the fence again, dude. What comes around fucks around, is what I say. You get what you deserve, pal. That's all I have to say, dude.
I think Marathon probably hasn't even made 20.
I saw this earlier. Who cares? This is hilarious. This is hilarious. What is this? Okay, so it's funny. As his girlfriend, Tracy, replying to like a comment, about, like Aspen, people were, basically, happy that Aspen got banned, and some random person, your ugly, unwashed boyfriend advocates for shooting children, someone posted a Science fan account, then Kaisi put face. That's just kind of funny, man. Dude, she's like, fuck, I don't care if, that Aspen says that I'm going to be, still be living regardless. So, Aspen, you might be the one, dude. Don't fuck it up, dude. Seriously, you finally found the perfect for you, dude. Lacey doesn't give a fuck what you said, dude. I don't know if like Pink Sparkles would have got upset if what he said. I have no idea if he would. So like Aspen provides update on Discord postman, someone in Discord a lot of questions about your band, got anything we can tell people in the server. He put let me think, and 3 minutes later, just that I'll make a video about it when I can. That I had something completely unrelated happen that requires my full attention. I think it's you guys AC fix. I mean it's what has been going on. Some dude like out of his house on the sold his kid's lawsuit. So it's nothing to do with Kaisi, because Kaisi was such a great man. So I don't know what, I have no idea. TikTok is such a funny guy, dude. He really is. He's a national treasure at times. Loving all the new followers say ununifying hereby one thing, our shared hatred of Hassan. God bless America. Oh my god. I don't blame you, dude. Like, fucking Hassan calls Tanto raped. He's called his dad like a fucking criminal rapist. He's basically pushed for Tectone to get banned on Twitch. So I don't fucking blame him, dude. Like, Hassan is a fucking piece of shit. So I don't know how that Nepal likes fucking Hassan. I don't know. I like Nepal, but he's kind of clueless at times. So yeah, what people get react stuff. Okay. This is family made up Blizzard. The Sultan celebrated Aspen Gold being removed off the Twitch and wanted him off the platform for 30 days. Twitch removed him. It's always the Sultan's fault. His streams are always not in line with Twitch. He's done so much more. I don't know how being this removal thanks. I think 7 days more again, and other sluggers were removed for this. For regardless of what Aspen done. Dude, you legit got banned for 1 day when you're reading a manifesto from a fucking goofy terrorist, and you have to put your chat and email notes. They were spamming fucking ours, dude. You got banned for 1 day for saying about, saying you wanted to kill Rick Scott, dude. Like, come on. You said far worse things what Aspen said. I don't agree with what Aspen said. Aspen was wrong for saying what he said. He's kind of gone off the rails a little bit. He's kind of took things a little too far recently. But the song said far much fucking worse things than what Aspen Gold has said. It's not even close, dude. It's not even close. What's this? Nick Fuentes explains the great replacement may never be referred to as trustful. Trump could have done it and should have done it and failed. Now it's okay. We saw him taking an L after L today. Democratic consultant fired over a fit with a Sun Piker. The Sun Piker President of Boston College Charles Sharp backlash, NYC breaks the DSA of policy question. I told you, the son's a fucking cancer. I'm telling you, he's hurting the Democratic Party every single day. Democrats are retarded for keep fucking hanging around with him. Like I said, he's a fucking cancer. But he'll probably blame on Asmongold. He'll blame on Asmongold. He'll blame on conservatives. He'll blame on Israel too. One of those three things he'll probably blame this on. So, yeah. So I love times like this. I hope not Asmongold. Sorry, fuck. I hope his son keeps taking more L's after L's after L's. I hope more of these like DNC games just break away from his son because he's a fucking cancer. He's basically hurting your chances of winning the generals. He's killing the fucking Democratic Party. Hopefully one day the Sonic gets permanently banned. Be nice if the Sonic gets permanently banned or the Sonic goes to jail for the shit. You know, I only dream about it. So yeah, that's just my opinion. There's Kaisi right there. See, let's look at her comments. Live look. Someone said Asmongold's a good man. I truly hope you're not using and truly trying to have forever after life for cats. I will pray and wish the best for both of you and hope it's not a flit. Asmongold's really good man. And Beatrice Rock was the best for you. So, but she comes from a rich family. She does not need the. She's not on the money, and they're not really confirmed to date. And they are dating. Like both of them not denied. Like both have been asked to date, but they never denied it. Besides, yeah, like earlier she's very rich. She goes from a rich family. Also, she does other stuff on the side, so she's fine. And she put the head of a Nazi that wants to shot his plane again. Bro, how does Kaisi have to do anything with fucking what Aspen said, dude? Jesus Christ, bro. The fucking idiot. Get load of this faggot. Yeah, that dude is literally is a fucking gay. Is a gay fucking faggot. He definitely is a fucking faggot. So, Asmongold, that trash Twitch player, asked new TV. You banned him, man. Why are you on the side you want him to change, but you don't want him to change forever? You know that. Like, how the fuck do you know that? An ugly witch faking dating a sewer rat. Oh, good God. How many followers you got? Dude, you have no followers, dude. Oh, laser. Probably should report this retard. I say you got bots. He's a weirdo. Who cares? He's gonna do this. It's like his girlfriend has nothing to do with what Aspen said, dude. It's just like, oh, like when people say retarded shit, they get their fucking family members or girlfriends, whoever, involved. It's like, oh, she literally said she doesn't know anything about politics, dude. So, how much has Taco Bell increased their prices? Prices for a single Taco Bell country taco in 1996 is $0.79 to 89 cents. 2021 was $1.49. 2026 is $2. Price for a single Del Taco 99 cents and 96. $1.69 in 2021. $2.79 in 2026. U.S. median household income 35,000 back to 96, 71,000 in 2021. Now it's going to 84,000. I love inflation. It's went up by 67%. Went up by 33%. It's unreal. YouTube in 2009. I remember all that. Oh my god, that's so annoying. Look at him now. I like Yak, man. I like Moist. Rest of them, I don't know who the fuck they are. Who cares about Kamala Harris? I think another thing would really look good. Oh, we're gonna get a wet winter. Well, we did get a wet winter this year. You know, we had snow back in December, so back in January. I meant to say we had snow back in January in Texas. So.
Sometimes it might not be where you are. They give you that opportunity. But you got
in 2009, you just grew involved. Dude, I love MW2. It's arguably the greatest card of all time. I used to just grind multiplayer for hours and hours and hours. Assassination said it. As far as Assassination hasn't really said anything about Hassan, not Hassan, about Aspen's band. So, oh wait, I saw him playing line on me again. Okay, we have to watch that. Maybe that saved up. We go look at it maybe Monday or something like that. Oh, what did Hassan say back in the day? Oh, I know this was this. I remember this. He never got banned for this. If I said this on Twitch, I would have got instantly banned. He can say what the fuck he wants to, because he's sucking Dane Clancy's cock. Dane Clancy's sucking his son's cock. Because Dane Clancy's a dumb fucking creep. Yeah, he never got banned for it. If I said it or any conservatives said it on Twitch, they would got permanently banned. Because Twitch is run by faggots. That's the reason why. They're run by retarded faggots, and Dane Clancy is a retarded faggot. So, it's not really, man, Exagon's so bad now. There's like nothing good. Bro, there's like nothing good to look at on this fucking shithole app anymore. I'll probably go look at TikTok because since there's nothing on this shithole app.
They graduate a million damn kids, boys, young men, every year.
Oh shit. 3.35% APY. Alright, we're gonna go look at TikTok now since there's just literally nothing to look on X anymore. X is so shit. Such a shithole app. What did Peanut do? If I get DMAC for this, who gives a shit? I don't give a fuck. I don't think I'm gonna get DMAC for this, but if I do, fuck it, who gives a shit? I don't really care. I love Peanut, man. Peanut's arguably one of my favorite streamers to watch. He's basically like Doc, but without the kids, without the, the kid stuff. He's basically what Doc is without all the fucking, weird shit. So, I think Peanut's cutscenes are better than what Doc's was. That Doc has great cutscenes, I used to watch Doc all the time before all that stuff came out. Also, once all that stuff came out, I sat and watched those things. But I think Peanut's cutscenes are just a little bit better, man. So. On the guaranteed contract. He had just signed an extension. He hadn't started. They're playing Tarkov. So he had
gotta understand how long it was from Joe. Hillbilly, to be able to do that, to be that desperate for a quarterback that was playing extremely well. And he was able to do it.
supposed to be with this guy.
Not very many. Not letting him keep it alive. He went crazy, Joe.
Bro, they're both funny, man. Hutch and Peanut are fucking hilarious, man. Bro, Hutch and Peanut are fucking hilarious, man. Oh my god. Alright, alright, round. Oh, simple. It's Counter-Strike 2. Yeah, Simple's still the best Counter-Strike player, so he's arguably the greatest Counter-Strike player of all time. There's a lot of great Counter-Strike players. You got Shroud, you had you got Summit, you got Simple. There's a lot of really good ones, man. I would love to get to a Counter-Strike event. I've always watched the CS event. We're gonna go to one. Oh yeah, when did I watch this? Oh, this was a couple days ago. Yeah, I remember this. He was covering this about Blizzard. Yeah. I remember this was a couple years ago when that shit was happening.
And teams that still need quarterbacks. If Deshaun Watson does play well this year, what teams are out there that would need a quarterback? I mean, playing well enough to know we'll take a chance on him because what he got.
You say he throws somewhere between 3,500 and 4,000 yards. He has somewhere between, say, 22 and 30 touchdowns. Yeah, absolutely.
Think about what you just said. That's a no-brainer, right? It's a no-brainer.
I wouldn't say that. Like I agree with like a lot of his like game takes, but there's some things he takes. Like the only things I disagree with him like on the game takes about like the characters. I just remember like I think it was like the state. It was a state of play. 2 months ago, the state of play. And it's like I think it's like the last game that they showed the state of play was the new God of War game. And let me yawn. They were like showing the new characters for like God of War, and I guess he didn't like that. It didn't have like I never played God of War. I need to. It didn't have the normal the original God of War because it had someone else. He got pretty pissed off, and he feel like the recent like chicks and the new God of War game have big tits, they like small titties. So I don't think it's like really big deal. I know he gets like fixated, bro. Like female characters in video games, I don't particularly really give a shit. To be honest, I know he does, but I honestly don't really give a shit. That's just like me. So. Ugh, that's why I'm yawning so much. I'm gonna go to bed. Good night, Peanut.
Speaking of full sentence, I'm trying to get the voice down. Really get this package going. Peanut has no arms. All right. Oh, I'm really glad that my parents are related. A lot of people think it's a detriment, but really, I'm happy about it. My sister, she looks pretty hot.
Here we go.
Whole lot.
We'll work on the accent.
Okay, all right.
My car broke down because it got no oil in it.
My car broke down because it got no oil in it.
On the farm, you got to be careful in the holler in case I have an accident.
I didn't even understand that one.
I could follow that one.
I'm going to go run up and come in the rear. Okay. Me too. Okay, yeah, come on over. Come on over. Point the rear. I'll put it. Oh my. No. There's a guy right here. There's a guy right here. One down. No. No. Kill another one. Read. There's two knocks. Hutch, get out. Shotgun, do shotgun things. Yep.
Oh my god.
What's the side road? Fuck the hotgun. Who's the side road? He might chin. One more corner. Got him thirsty. He's not thirsty.
Here, alright. That's another one. Yeah, Gingy likes to little Pokemon cards on her stream that pisses Pete off.
Don't you worry. Us Hutchins gotta look out for each other. Thank you, brother. No problem, brother. So this raid with the Kentucky accent. Yeah. Back up. Red. Oh my God. One down. Got one. Okay, hold on. I gotta click grab me. Oh, he got me. He's on me. That's over. Read. What's saying? 222 coming in. Saying.
Holy fuck. You're your mom's pussy.
Wait. Listen. No, wait. No, guys, we're good. Wait a second. Yeah, your mother.
That's funny. That's funny as shit.
Are you going here? Follow me over here, guys. I found this new trick. Check me out. Follow me over here, guys. I found this new trick. Check me out. I got this new trick. Check me out. Are you going here?
That's funny.
You place a wall in here, and you can climb up on top of it. Watch this. Ready for this? Well, if you want to participate, you got to come inside. You got to come right here.
I'm going to bed, shit. I'm tired. It was a good stream. It was a very good stream, but
and then you plant one of these.
Wait, I'm gonna get off for tonight. It was a good stream. I really enjoyed it. Obviously, talked about a lot of things. Obviously, I'll be on Monday. It's gonna be a shorter week. Obviously, it's gonna be a very short week for me. Next Friday, I'll be going to the UK. So I'll be gone for a little while. I'll be gone for like 8 days. But we'll be here Monday through Thursday. And next Friday, I'll be in the UK. And I'll be there till like the 23rd. Then I'll be on that, like, on that Monday. Hopefully I won't be like jet lagged. So, yeah. All right, guys, I'm gonna hop off. It was a good stream, and I will see you guys on Monday. Have a great weekend, guys.